Hello everyone, and welcome back to Thornwood Dungeons and Dragons here on the Chop Shop Network. I am Charlie Chop Shop, your game master, and I'm joined by the Leaf Guard.
Squad.
Woohoo.
Hi Leaf Guard, how are you? You can answer in concert if you wish.
Doing really good, thank you.
Nope, didn't work.
Got mine out there.
We all said that at the same time.
Failed.
That was just
It was
That
perfect.
perfect. Yeah.
We have Colin playing Spitz. Spitz. No,
Colin playing Slip.
That's wrong.
Slow down.
That's wrong. I'm just reading it off the screen. It's in the wrong order, but that's okay because it's helping me get organized on the stream here as well. So we have Colin playing Slip, Slipperacilla Totoronomus, the
Hello.
bullfrog cleric of Father Tree or Elder Tree Spirit. We have Knucklebone playing Spitz, the former Redtail Coalition Squirrel Barbarian.
That's me. I gotta do my vocal exercises.
It's been a while since you've done the Spitz voice. We have Most Pleasant Finn playing Nyx, the dashing Redtail guide and ranger, but not of the Redtail Coalition.
Not exclusively not.
How are you, Finn?
I'm great.
And then we have Igrim, played by our good friend Sar. Hello, Sar.
Howdy.
Igrim is a mouse, and he's a wizard. And he says the perfectly wrong thing at the exact wrong time.
I think it's the perfectly right thing.
Well, it's perfect regardless, whether it's right or wrong. Anyway, this is Thornwood. So it's if you haven't watched before, it's a D&D game where we play a kind of altered version using some of the nice mechanics from Mouse Guard, another D&D system, but it's based in a world of anthropomorphic animals called the Thornwood, and it's a little similar to Redwall and Watership Down and lots of other properties of similar nature, except for humans aren't a thing and aren't around. And when we last left off, let's talk about last episode. Slip succumbed to death.
Darkness.
But like
You got me in the darkness.
at like the exact moment that you arrived into the abbey, your home, this big, huge church full of elder clerics and so forth. And so they did resurrect you fairly quickly. How
And I earned a bauble.
have you changed now that you have died, Slip? Is there a darker something taking grasp inside? Are you more
Yeah.
grateful now?
I'm emo now. No, I think.
You have a white streak in your hair now.
I don't know, Slip. So as far as I remember, Slip has kind of woken up, and the day that I woke up, I kind of went to this big ceremony, and I haven't really had time to like process what's really happened thus far. I would imagine, like, I just dealt with death, and the thing that really is troubling Slip is that he can't remember it. Like, it was just like he was at the gates, and then the next thing you know, he was like waking up in bed, and everyone was telling him that he had died. And so, like, there's supposed to be something beyond, right? Like, that's why I'm a cleric. That's why I've like studied so much, right?
So you didn't even maybe know that you had died when you woke up?
Correct. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you'll remember, but like I don't have my notes open right now, but not the abbot, but the man who trained me or whatever at the abbey.
Mm-hmm.
When we had an interaction, I was like mostly completely silent because he woke me up by saying like, "Oh, you passed beyond the veil" and all that, and it's like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever gotten a head rush and passed out and then wake up from that, it's like that, but like way more intense because I was dead.
Was it Elder Splinter, or
No.
or was it Father Pippin?
Father Pippin, yep.
Oh, that music maybe was very loud while we were talking, but I'm not sure.
Are we unmuted?
You are unmuted. I just had the intro music on in the background, but it's probably okay. I had us up super loud. And here's some music that you guys can hear now. Hopefully, you guys can hear that music.
Can hear.
Nah, you know I'm using Safari, dog.
Oof.
Hell.
Well, the music makes it better. You're missing it. It's so good. Anyway, put some Skyrim music on YouTube in the background.
I'm listening to only Sea Shanty number 2.
So anyway, yeah, Slip had died, and it was basically you guys were returning back to Thornwood Abbey after your kind of initial first mission had mostly been completed, although with some hiccups that you didn't expect. So your mission was to rescue this merchant caravan owner, another person from the Frog Kingdom, a bullfrog named...
Jeremiah.
No, Jeremiah is the king.
The king, yeah.
You were...
What's his goddamn
Gilbert.
name?
You were
Gilbert
setting
Longhop.
out to rescue Gilbert Longhop, yeah, the owner of the Longhop Merchant Company.
I open the note now.
And
Over for you guys.
it wasn't even to necessarily rescue him. They just knew you were expecting him to arrive at the Abbey, and they never came. And not only that, Gilbert was bringing a cure to a pretty nasty disease that had been afflicting a lot of people, not only at the Abbey, but in the nearby communities. I believe the disease was called the Black Spore. And they had the blue toad, which is another kind of mushroom that kind of cured it. And so that's why you were expecting Gilbert to arrive, but he never did. You set out. You eventually found him, but now him and this other character you picked up with him, a she-mouse named Daisy, she's a researcher from a nearby university, are both wanted by the Redtail Coalition, the local forest guard. And you learned that in the Redtail Coalition, there is some corruption going on surrounding a character named... Sorry, I'm flipping through my notes. What's the corrupt captain from the Redtail Coalition? Does anyone remember?
Erditch.
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 Yeah. Captain Erditch, that's right.
I
So-
should get a Gnosis token for that one.
So Erditch you don't know if it was Erditch, but some Redtail Rangers tried to kill Gilbert and this mouse Daisy, and they killed most of the people in their trading caravan and on her research team, and tried to secure the cure for the disease before you could get it. Luckily, Gilbert escaped with it in tow, and so did Daisy. You rescued both of them. But you also encountered rats in your forest, and rats haven't been in Thornwood for a long time. They've been banished to the north. And they even mentioned Squill, the kind of general who had been at the head of the rat wars in, decades past or whatever. But you finally made it back to the Abbey, and the long night was approaching. This kind of weird days-long, week-long period of darkness that magically comes over the forest from time to time. You do know when the long night happens, the Elder Owl, this strange kind of demigod-like figure in the forest, comes out and feeds. Of course, this owl is who the Redtail Coalition kind of worships, or more so serves. But you made it back just in time, but shadows were coming out of the forest, and they killed Slip as you made it. Just in time as the long night set in. You made it into Thornwood Abbey's walls where it's safe. They resurrected you, and then there was a feast, which there usually is on the long night. Except this feast was different. Gwendolyn got up to make an announcement. Gwendolyn is this beautiful matron of the Abbey. She, donated pretty much all of her family's money, and she's a healer herself, to keep the place open. And has kind of an honorary position there. She gets up to give a speech, and clattering in through the door comes, I think it was Father Pippin's little advisor mouse. Or maybe one of the other scouts for the Abbey, but he crashed into the middle of the feast and announced that there are rats on the march. He saw an army of rats heading along the east road to the south, towards Blue Cliff, the major city of the region. And then Gwendolyn announced that she was reinstating something called the Leaf Guard, an ancient protection society amongst the beast folk of Thornwood, and that you all were the first honorary members since you had brought back the cure, and that your first mission was to save Blue Cliff. A few other things happened, like Igram and Slip, you guys snuck off, and Igram, you matched your torn out spellbook page from a giant-sized spellbook with Slip's massive spellbook that he found out in the woods. You like both have two pieces of the same artifact, basically, you discover.
And Daisy knows how to read.
Yep.
She can read humanish.
Human. So that's where we had left off, I think, pretty much. You guys were going to set out towards Blue Cliff.
So, like, my question is, are we going to be able to beat this army there?
Well, you don't know if he's exaggerating, if it's more of a battalion than an army.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sure. But what I think they probably do tell you is they know Blue Cliff has built-in defenses in the sense of an escape route of some sort, a hidden escape route, because it is built into these like two mountain kind of faces, or two kind of giant rock peaks.
Yeah, and then there's like a river, and you got to go across the bridge on the river to
Right.
get into the city.
But it's also built in all of this old clockwork, this massive giant-sized clockwork, you know, this mysterious old artifacts like built into the wall. It has like a cable car system. You guys have probably been there. There's like a cable car system that goes up to the houses and the cliffs and on the wall and in the gears. And the gears all turn and move. There's a giant facet in the fountain. Yeah, Igram is from there. There's a giant facet in the center fountain that's like a massive spinning gear and a giant glass dome with a filament in the middle. It's a light bulb, but it's like, you know, this taller than Igram is. And it's like a huge, almost sculpture-like device in the center of the town. And it keeps it lit at nighttime.
Yeah, hell yeah, it does.
Keeps it litty bam bitty.
Fucking turn up. Okay, but do you see where I'm going with my idea though? Like, can we get there first? 1, 2, can we get rid of that bridge?
So let's look at the map real fast. I don't think they need the bridge, if I recall. So you're... Hold on. You're currently here. They are coming from... No, I guess they would need the bridge because they are coming from like through the Northwood Forest. Like this. I'm trying to get my ruler out, but it's not working. There we go. Hold on.
Alright, Kevin Gates.
So they're like coming down through the forest like this.
Okay.
Maybe more like over here. For the path. And they're going to cut this way.
So what if we blew that bridge up?
You could try it for sure.
How exactly do you expect to do that?
Well, hold on. Before we get to that, you're getting ahead of yourself a little bit. Was there anything else we missed from last time? First of all, important stuff. I don't think so.
We met a guy that sold fish.
Yeah, it was like someone you knew from the Abbey. I believe.
Yep.
I think that's it. So
I think we learned that during the Dark Night, bad things happen. Like shadows come out and try and fucking kill everyone.
well, yeah.
I feel like that's something of note.
Oh yeah, and it is currently the long night still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Shit. I didn't think about that.
Wait.
Also, Nyx ran ahead and
Was-
left Slip behind in the last battle, and low-key feels like it's their fault that that Slip got axed.
Sounds like a goal to me.
I say, did Splinter get hurt
No.
last session by the rats
No.
or something? Okay. Sorry. Okay, so let's talk about your goals and stuff. So again, what you've been tasked to do is save the mice of Blue Cliff, and repel the rats if you can. If not, saving the mice is your first priority. Or not just the mice, all the inhabitants. It's just mostly mice there. So look at your goal, write yourself a new one. If you want to see the little thing about writing your goals again. They usually include I will not, I must not. And then an action word, find, stop, deliver, return, rebuild, demonstrate, something of that nature. And an object. Something you think you can complete this session, by the way. If you don't think it's possible to do this session, don't make it your goal.
Done, baby.
I've had such a loss right now.
I just gotta protect my bay, that's all.
So remember, what Gwendolyn has asked you to do is to save Blue Cliff, repel the rats, and save the mice there. Now keep in mind, Blue Cliff, you can probably get there in, a day or two. Like 20 hours maybe. Maybe 10. I'm going to say 10 hours of travel, like constant travel. You can get there. But it's the long night, so it's going to be hard. So this first session, you will probably get there, but most of the session is going to be kind of the trip there through the long night. And also their army being on the move, or however many rats they have.
I still think we should meet him at the bridge.
Totally. That can be your goal, to be, I will...
I got it. Don't help me. I'll do it myself.
So this session will probably, again, deal with mostly your trip there, the road to Blue Cliff, the army marching there, and the long night, are kind of the dangers ahead of you. And don't forget that even though there's terrible, bad things, this is also the time of the guardian owl. And sometimes he does kill mice and squirrels and others, but only if it's their time. Everybody, are you still working on yours? You can move on to your belief if you have your goal, you think. We'll go over it all in just a moment. Definitely change your belief if you'd like, or alter the one you currently have to develop it more with things that have already been happening. Decide what your character believes. Tells everyone what your character's about. It's a helpful reminder to you. It can definitely tie into the current situation or other lore things around you. For instance, like, Nick's yours is about the Red Tail Council,
Correct.
but it does involve the rats, which is one of the things you're directly dealing with, so you know that
Yeah.
has a good chance of being actionable soon. That's a good one. But if anyone's looking for a new goal, I would direct it towards the rats or the long night, because that's going to be directly applicable over the next few sessions. Sorry. Sneezy. Sneezy McWeed.
Can I have a two-parter as a goal?
Hell yeah.
Sure, what are you thinking? You can have more than oh yeah. Well, I would say for beliefs you can have two technically if you really want to get into it, but what's your two-part goal? Clone. Can you guys hear me? Check. There we go. I muted myself. Sorry. You can have more than one goal. Or you can have more than one belief, rather. But I'm open to a two-part goal. What's your idea?
It's just both about the bridge. It's like I want to. Half of it is like I will convince them that setting the ambush at the bridge is our best course of action, and the other half is I will make sure that we make it there safely through the long.
Ah, cool. So this is cool because I see you now really learning to write your goals better, because half of it is getting the team to do it too. If it's different from the team's direct goal, but so you shouldn't have to write in convincing the team as part of your goal normally. It should just be inherent that that's what your character wants to get done right now, and that they would go ahead and convince them anyway, or try to if it is their goal.
Okay.
If that makes sense, you know what I mean? So the first part is like inherent in that it's already your goal. Like it should be the thing your character wants to do and wants to steer everyone else to do if possible.
Okay, so I don't need to say that.
No, right, yeah. You don't need the first part. It's built into the fact that, like, into the goal system. That's
Okay.
the thing your character wants to do right now. It's their driving motivation. So, of course, they would try and convince the others to do it if they thought that wise or possible. So, Igram, I'm looking at yours. I must demonstrate to the group that empathy is not a lost emotion for me. I will prove to the group that I'm not inconsiderate. This sounds more like belief material to me.
Okay.
I must demonstrate to the group that empathy is not a lost emotion for me. I would just change it to, like, even though others think so, empathy is not a lost emotion for me.
Okay.
Could be a really good second belief for you, especially if you wanted to keep something about magic or the rats or something else.
Okay.
I'll prove its worth in the battle against the rats. That's a good one. That sounds like more of a goal.
So switch them.
Yeah. So I would say,
Okay.
like, exercise my magic to its fullest extent against the rat, or like, I will not hold back my magic against the rats, or something like that, even if it makes me seem monstrous. It's a good, nice, juicy goal. Did you guys hear Mogwai?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Precious.
She our baby.
Yo, I got a cat like a week ago, two
Aw.
weeks ago.
About a week ago.
What's your cat's
His
name?
His name is Herman.
I miss having a cat.
Herman's a cute
Uh-huh.
name, like Pee-wee.
I have a dog and I love him, but I am a cat person.
You
I
need
miss having a cat so bad.
the emotional intelligence that a dog just
I need
can't
the
provide.
For real.
I mean, I love dogs, but cats are so good.
I like dogs better than cats.
Yeah, I love cats, but I've always been more of a dog person. I just don't have the same amount of time that you would need for a dog.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
space. I don't have the same amount of space for a dog either.
Yeah. Dogs take a lot of fucking time. They're like babies.
I don't have the level of stability in my life that I would need for a pet.
That's
A pig is number one on the list for me.
good when you take
Oh
a break.
yeah. There was a phase I had when I was really, really wanting to get a giant African land snail. And like I did all this research and I started buying like substrate for my giant African land snail. And I learned that they're an invasive species and outlawed in the United States. And I was like, fuck this entire planet.
You can get other snails, sure.
I want a big one.
I mean, you can get other big ones. I'm sure there's other big ones.
All right,
These
all right.
fuckers are like football sized.
Let me
What?
introduce you to a guy. I got a guy. I'll get you some snails.
Colin's gonna hook you up with a snail guy after the game. Let's talk about your goals now that they're all finished and your beliefs. Slip, your belief is the Red Tail Coalition does good deeds but is misguided in their blind trust of the great owl.
I still feel like that. Rep that till the day I die.
All right. Your goal is I'll make sure my team arrives safely at the bridge and successfully sets our ambush. And your trait is and has been introvert. Slip is a bit introverted, not because he's shy, but because he doesn't care for talking.
He just contributes when he feels like he has something to contribute and doesn't when he doesn't.
The bridge, by the way, is called North Bridge, since it is on the North Road in the North Wood. Actually, it's on the East Road in the North Wood. So moving on, Igrim. Even though people might think I lack empathy, I will prove them wrong. I like that one. And magic is an evil, I will prove its worth. Because a lot of people don't look favorably on sorcery, especially in Bluecliff. They prefer artificery to wizardry.
Well, I'm not there.
Though they're two sides of the same coin. Your goal is, I will not hold back magic against the rats, even if it makes me look monstrous. I like that goal a lot.
World Star.
It implies a lot about Igrim's intent as he's setting out, I feel like. Like, Igrim, even though you believe in magic, are not like a super hostile person, I don't think. Even though you have battled a little bit now. But now I feel like this sets a little bit more like Igrim is ready for a fight.
Yep.
No holding.
I think we're all pretty PO'd at the rats after what they did to those squirrels at the farm.
You guys
the
are
nut farm.
you guys are geared.
Down to clown, baby.
Fully torqued.
So the Red Tail Coalition is hiding a secret involving the rats, and I want to uncover it. That's Nyx. That's your belief. That's a good one. Oh, sorry. Igrim has the inquisitive trait too. It just goes without saying. Nyx, the Red Tail Coalition is hiding a secret involving rats, and I want to uncover it. Good belief. Your goal is I will drive back the most rats possible in our upcoming battle and ensure I protect Slip, or I'll feel defeated. Oh no. And you're bold, level 1.
Hold me closer.
And Spitz, although the Red Tail Coalition is all I've ever known, they are, in recent events, becoming harder to trust, and my faith in them is beginning to wane. I like that. Would you say, if to shorten it a bit, I mean, you don't have to change it, but just to sum it up, you feel unsure about the Red Tail Coalition right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's unsettling. Your goal is, I must protect my friends while repelling the rats from Blue Cliff, ensuring that no one else is seriously hurt like Slip was. You might want to change it while traveling to Blue Cliff or something, because you're not gonna. You'll probably make it there by the end of the session, or maybe something about making it there before the rats.
Okay, let's see.
I must protect my friends and make it to Blue Cliff before the rats arrive, ensuring that no one else is seriously hurt like Slip was. That's kind of an interesting one. Multifaceted. Alright, so that is everyone. And, oh, Spitz's trait is rabid. I must expedite our travel to Blue Cliff in any way I can, while also ensuring that no one is seriously hurt like Slip. That's a good one. I like that. Cool, so we have our goals and stuff set. Let's
Yes, we do.
get going. So, it is black as night all around the abbey. The big open stone courtyards of, the beautiful vine-grown, edifices and walls of the abbey are all torchlit as you walk through it. And there's kind of an air of, seriousness and urgency as everyone is kind of preparing. And it's all centered around you, as everyone is kind of quickly preparing you to leave as fast as they can. Bringing you any, they're literally have packed backpacks for you with rations and water skins. And they bring you as well, each a water beetle. It's lower to the ground with much wider, longer legs than your dung beetles kind of beetle that are incredibly fast, though fairly weak. But they're also fast on top of water, which is kind of the appeal.
Mm-hmm. While they're bringing us stuff, I wanna make a request if I can. I want to have a shield and a warhammer brought to me, because Spitz really wants to, after seeing what happened to Slip, he really wants to be able to not just beat people up mercilessly, but he wants to be able to protect himself.
Okay. Sure. Hold on one second. I would say anything from the adventuring gear, from the weapons or armor that's below 50 GP, they will pretty much just give to you for free if you think you need it or want it. That goes for everyone. So here's armor. Here's weapons. If you scroll down, it'll show the table. And here's adventuring gear. You can pretty much get up to 50 GP worth of stuff for free from them. And they're also going to give every single one of you one potion of healing. All they have left in their stores. I think that one is probably a personal gift, as Pippin probably comes out and he's like, I've been saving these for a long time, but I think now you'll need them. And he hands you a satchel slip, and inside are these 4 flasks of red liquid.
I shake them up and spray them all over myself like champagne.
Woo!
Okay.
But yeah, so tell me if you're going to take any equipment or type it into the chat. Warhammer and Shield for spits.
Mm-hmm. That's a hot 25 GP, I believe. Total.
Cool. Anything else you want to buy on top of that, you probably can. If you need more than 50 GP worth of stuff. I doubt anyone really will, though.
Yeah, I'm like scrolling through the...
Now, Igram, remind me what magic items you have. Do you have still the pendant artifact that unlocked the magical cage that you had found? The trap?
Yes, I have that. The stone, the round stone.
Okay, and you have your the page from the book, right?
Yep.
Are you leaving that with Daisy?
Page from the book.
Yeah, and the book, because she's the only one that can read it so far.
Yes, it would be very, very hard. Agra probably has some reservations about it, but understanding that he'd probably know more if she starts to see it, he would do that.
So, you guys have had about 8 hours to kind of get ready at this point. And doing this preparation before you set out and from the feast and that kind of thing. I think that Daisy, right before you're like heading out the gate into the darkness and people are like watching worried, you know, oh, sorry, I'm looking at your spell page real quick, Igram. I think Daisy comes running out to Igram on his water beetle and like runs up to the side of it with some things in her hands. And she's like, Igram, I made some things from you. I stayed up all night reading the book.
Thank you.
And she hands you a scroll case. And she's like, use these if you get in trouble, but be careful. They seem like they're destructive.
I believe that would be a great need of where we're going, so I will be careful, but I will use them accordingly.
So when you get on the road, if you look at what's in the scroll tube, it's 2 scrolls of Fireball.
Okay.
Which, even if you don't have spell slots for, you can cast, so provided you make the requisite check.
Okay.
But there's a chance they fail. But the other thing she gives you, she's like, there's also this. I already had the piece of you. And she holds up something in like a folded up kind of scarlet cloth. And as she unfolds it, you see like a twisted piece of yew branch that kind of sparkles. And she like holds it up for you to take. And it has like a little clear quartz gem set in the very tip of it. And she's like, I made it exactly like it says in the book. Just smaller.
The book is rather big. Do they measure off of the book, or do they measure off of our measurement?
She's like, they use an ancient system that only us at the ancient history department really understand.
Well, that's a good thing you understand it then.
And she gives you also a Wand of the War Mage +1.
Okay.
Basically just a +1 to your spell attack bonus, but I believe you can... Or I'll drag and drop it to your sheet, actually.
Drag and drop it. I'll have to exit out because I have it popped out.
It's okay. I'm doing it for you. It should pop into your sheet, I think.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you may have to close yours and reopen it to see it. I dropped it in there for you, though, now.
Okay.
I think you have to equip it, maybe. No, it's equipped. So I think that just gives you +1 to your spell attack, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Igram kind of looks at her with his head kind of drooping down a little bit, draws his foot in the dirt of the abbey, and says, "Thank you."
She just like kind of nods and as she backs away, squeaks quietly, "Be careful!" and, like, slips into the darkness. So Elder Splinter comes out and finds you. And he too has something for you. Let me look here real quick. Yeah, he comes out with some shimmering looking armor in his hands. And he, like, kind of holds it out to you as he comes up, and he's like, "Slip, I wanted to give you this relic of the church."
Does Slip recognize it? Like, do I know?
So, yeah, I'm trying to look it up in my notes. Does anyone remember what, like, the former mouse hero from the church's name was? Like, from the Rat
I want
Wars?
to say it was Martin, but there was no way we were that tongue-in-cheek.
No.
It's Marvin.
Marvin,
Marvin.
Yeah. He's like, "It once belonged to the hero Marvin, and you should wear it now. He was the founding member of the Leaf Guard."
This is a great honor you bestow upon. I do not know if I am worthy, Father, but I will accept this boon. We will need any aid we can get in the fight against the rats.
He's like, "I feel you are worthy, but if you must, prove it to yourself while wearing Marvin's mantle." And he holds this scale mail +1 up to you.
Tight.
So I'll drag and drop that to your sheet for you real fast.
Thank you. And it should, like, auto-equip it, right?
Yep, I think so. Yeah, your AC was 17, now it's 18.
That's without my shield.
No, that's probably with your shield, I would imagine. Oh, AC is not incorrect. Unequip extra armor shield from item details. Okay, hold on. There we go.
AC is not.
Let's see if that includes your shield. Shield is equipped. Yeah, 18 is
Okay.
pretty high.
Yeah.
I think you were at 17 before, now you're at 18.
Nice.
I feel like Splinter kind of looks over at Nyx and Spitz, and he's like, "I don't really know you guys that well, sorry. I hope the potions will suffice."
That's fair.
Don't worry, I am completely self-sufficient.
Oh, you don't have to worry about this guy at all.
And so Slip is just gonna kind of slip away and try out his new armor. I imagine it's like white and it's got like little gold fleckies all over it. Maybe it's like a mix of like leather and chain.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's definitely really well made and comfortable. But he like gives it to you as you're leaving town on your water beetle. So you probably take time like riding your mount out into the darkness to like slip off your old scale mail and tuck it into your saddlebag and like pull this one on.
So, speaking of armor, right? Do I just adjust my armor class, or like, do I need to add it to my inventory? Like, because I just bought that leather armor.
Okay.
I had it given to me. So, like, how do I adjust my sheet for that? And
So
roll 20.
you already have leather armor on, it looks like.
Do I?
Mm-hmm. If you look in
Well, then-
your
Well,
bottom
then don't add a chief.
bottom center section, it lists leather armor there, 1. And then if you hover over it, it gives a little icon at the bottom right, like a little information. And it's
Ah!
leather armor just doesn't give you much of a bonus. 14's about right for leather armor with a good dexterity.
Well, isn't it? So my dexterity is 16, so isn't it like my base dexterity plus. Oh, I have a 3 modifier on my dexterity. Never mind.
Yeah, so it's whatever your armor gives you, whatever is listed on the armor table there. And then plus your dexterity. And some armors even limit how much of your dexterity you can use. I don't believe leather is one of those, but if you scroll down and look at leather, so leather is 11 plus your dexterity modifier. Yeah, so that's correct.
But it's only showing 10 here. Oh wait, that's weight. Okay.
So 11 plus
I'm
your dex
following.
modifier.
My dexterity
3.
mod, which is 3.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Roll20 does a nice job of auto calculating most of that stuff, as long as you keep the right little things check marked. But anyway, so you guys are all geared and you head out into the darkness, into the long night, on the road heading east from the Abbey. I'll put you back on the map here. Hold on 1 second. There we go. So you head out into these creeping shadows. Slip, how do you feel going back out into this after you literally were just killed by it?
Well, so that's the thing though, is that it's like the experience doesn't register like that. It's not like I don't feel like I did a thing and then I died and now I'm back. I feel like I like passed out and now I woke up. So I think it definitely does affect me because I know the reality of like, oh, these things killed me out there. But at the same time, it's easy to like disassociate from it. You know what I mean? Like I have a job to do. I need to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So he's more on edge than he would be normal. Maybe he rides more towards like the center of the group.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I cast a ritual spell while riding a beetle?
Yeah, probably. I imagine someone else could hold on to your reins, or they're like horses are pretty good at just kind of following each other once you get in a path.
Okay, heard.
What barbarian magic are you cooking up?
I have speak with animals and beast sense, but only as rituals.
So you travel into the dark of night, and as you head through these just, almost pitch black woods, you...
Do we have like big lanterns to like fend off the shadows or whatever?
Yeah, I'm sure you probably have poles with lanterns on the back of them, just to keep things from creeping out onto you. But as you just look out into the darkness around you and the gloom, you can just see, yellow eyes of bats, blinking up in the treetops and watching you, as well as just like shadowy shapes shifting around. It looks like as your torches cast shadows on the trees as you pass by them, that like they like twist and pull to the next tree over, almost like running away from your light, but like watching you. You get very eerie feelings as you travel. Is anyone scouting ahead of the party? How are you riding, like in formation wise? Just in like a group of 4? And are you like being as quiet as possible? I mean, you're riding mounts, so you can't be fully quiet. But like, are you guys talking? Or are you like in a quiet, kind of spooked mood?
I would imagine we're hauling butt. We're trying to get there as fast as we can. I'm trying to get everyone to the bridge ASAP. So I would say it's belabored.
Okay, and
That's just me. I don't know. I'm not trying to make that decision for everyone.
You're in full gallop, like you're like actively involved in riding your mount to just like kick it, go as hard as you can.
I mean, that's the way I'm thinking about it. I don't know what everyone else is thinking though.
Nah, I'm thinking that like the rats are going to assume we're coming and are gonna try to like stick around for an ambush. I mean, I feel like I would be closer to the front trying to scout ahead as we're riding. I mean, like, whatever speed we're going is whatever speed we're going to try to get there. But
And Igram is informing everybody about the ins and outs. Blue Cliff arrived. They're not long.
So, as you're in full gallop, so Nix, you think you're out front rather than Slip?
Yeah.
So Nix, why don't you make a perception check as you charge ahead through the darkness? And because it's the long night, you have dark vision though, right?
yeah,
Okay, I'll make you do it at disadvantage. Just a normal perception check.
dope. All right. Where the hell is that at? Ha. How was it? How did I do? Ugh.
So, as you're charging ahead, you see a figure crouched down in the middle of the road. And you try and pull your horse to like a stop, like a screeching halt. Before like skidding basically, your mount kind of, your water beetle like rears back and like skids to one side as it tries to stop in this full speed run, coming at this crouched kind of dark half-hooded figure in the middle of the road, knelt down.
Skirt.
Yeah.
When you say crouched, do you mean like Gargoyles the animated series crouched, or like Gollum crouched?
Neither. I would say neither. I would say wounded.
Okay.
And so why don't you make an animal handling check next to try and pull up your pony before... I'm going to say just in time you pull up your mount to like screech and slide through like the dirt and mulch of the trail to a full stop, but like you kind of at the like right when you hit a full stop kind of like slide off, like kind of get thrown, not hard, but just like a foot off the mount and kind of like catch yourself on your foot, like right behind this figure, like closer than you wanted to be.
As I'm standing like really close to this figure, I'm trying to be incredibly stealthy, creeping up on him.
Yeah, so you get like thrown from your saddle, do like a little roll and come up on your feet, like 5 feet away from your mount, right behind it. And the figure, now you can see is much taller than you, or maybe about the same height, but it's tall. I don't remember if Nyx was tall for a squirrel or not.
Nah, pretty average.
Okay, so this is like tall for a squirrel, and they stand up in their robes and like let out like a hideous like Rah! And you can
Fucking rat.
And you can see black feathers like poking out of its robe under its arms and like kind of at the neck of its robe as well. You can't like get a bead on any other details about it. It's mostly draped in this like black cloth, but sticking out of the edges of its robe seem to be black feathers.
I think it might be the crow that helped us.
It's not big enough.
Is it?
Crows are much larger than you. This is like a humanoid looking, like someone standing there, knelt in a cloak.
Well, I'm definitely gonna draw my short sword.
As
100%.
As it squawks like that, it like reaches up and like kind of shakes its hand in pain and like brings it down in a large punch, but like on its own leg. And then you look and notice that it is caught in a large toothed metal contraption, a trap. It looks like it's made out of some sort of dark, strange metal.
I'm just gonna like creep up towards this figure and just be like, I'm essentially just gonna walk up, try to disable the trap, but I'm gonna walk up and just kind of try to ease it, like hey.
So the
others
try
to get you out.
The others have pulled up your mounts, obviously behind Nyx's mount at this point, and are watching this unfold out in the road in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Nyx starting to close in. What are the rest of you doing?
Spitz has his sling out in case of emergency, and he's keeping his eyes darting back and forth to either side of the tree line.
Agram looks over at Spitz and says, "Is there I'm not usually out during the long night. Is there usually traps on the roadways? Is that something that you find regularly?
That's something that regularly occurs during the long night. Long night. What's spit?
None of you have ever seen a trap like this before. Traps are not something animals use to hunt with.
This is very out of the ordinary, and the metal it's made of is very unusual.
Is it like the cage? I have that thing that unlocks the cage thing. I could go try that out.
You can make a check, an investigation or an arcana check to look it over.
Can I help with an investigation check?
Sure, but it looks like Softpaw mice gain advantage on checks to identify, investigate, or recall information about mechanical, technological, and tinkered items. So yeah, I'll let Igram already can roll with advantage on it.
So, while they're looking at all that stuff, I guess Slip will just talk to this figure.
Okay. Well, as you all kind of hop off your mounts and come up to it, and Nyx, being the first to approach it, the creature like pulls away from you, Nyx, like "Rah!" and starts trying to pull the trap along with it, and then you get a good look at its leg, and it is wearing like boots and has like humanoid-looking legs and pants on, but is just like mangled and bloody through the pants where the trap is clenched on. This is like a large, like bear trap sized trap. And it tries to pull away from you, but you can see that, like, with like a clinking, like a clink, 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 like the chain of the trap snaps tight. It's like staked into the ground. Igram, when the chain kind of stretches tight, you get a good look under the torch hanging from the back of Nyx's beetle. That this is definitely the same metal as that cage.
I believe it's the same metal as the cage. If the trap is set in the roadway, I believe that was on purpose. They might be close.
Rats.
And so Slip, when the creature kind of pulls away and gives this pained squawk, it kind of gives up and lets them get closer. Now, do you try and speak to it?
Yeah, yes. First off,
How are you?
friend, we mean to help, but we must know you're not a threat. 'Tis strange to see you trapped in such a contraption.
It looks up at you from beneath its hood, like kind of whips its head up to look and meet you in the eyes. For a
Do
moment,
I recognize what it is when I look at it underneath its hood?
you see a pained expression on its kind of crow bird-like face, and its face almost like seems to be shifting, almost turning into some other kind of creature that you are not familiar with, some other humanoid doppelganger type looking thing. Its face is like almost kind of turning flesh and then back to... It looks pained as it does this, and like the beak is protruding out from its mouth, and it just like lets out another like of pain, and then you see like cracking its arms kind of shift motions in a strange way, and now it seems much more hunched over, and it kind of like flaps its arms, and the cloak like flies off. Now it is just a full-on raven. Whatever this was just transformed into a raven in front of you.
Charlie, I'm worried about you. Are you alright, man?
I was just thinking that.
Okay, then ravens can talk, right? Like crows, they know like some basic tree speak.
Well, they have their own language, yeah.
And this is definitely is not the one that tried to help us before, right? Would I recognize that?
Yeah, I think that was a sparrow before, wasn't it?
No, we helped the sparrow get out of the cage, but if you remember,
yeah, that was a blackbird. Now this is a raven.
okay.
Yeah, it's not very big.
And ravens usually roll with rats, right?
They live in the same place. The carrion birds live north of the wall. They actually are not friendly with the rats. I think it's probably a common thought that they do because they're both pretty fucking evil. They both live north of the wall. It might be a common superstition that ravens and rats are all up to bad things together, but it's actually not true.
What? Okay, so do I know the superstition or do I know the truth?
You tell me.
Phew.
You're studied, so you might know the truth.
Yeah. How are my homies reacting to this then? Right? I can't imagine
So
former Red Guard employees would.
at this point, yeah, everyone else, you see this kind of transformation happen, not as well as Slip, because Slip got to see its face like literally turn into a bird head.
I have never seen a creature like this before. Do you have any ideas of what this is? This seems unnatural. And I'm looking at Egro.
Igrum just is like standing there looking at it going, that was amazing. I don't know exactly how they did it, but that is something I wish to study. We need to get it free so we can talk.
So it tries to kind of like do a little bird hop from side to side, but it's pretty restricted by the trap on its leg. And it cocks its head sideways. You see its like, blazing yellow pupil. And it...
Sorry, y'all.
It's alright. It squawks out a few words at you in squeak speak. But seems mostly like mimicry, and it just says something like not evil, diseased.
Okay, so the way that I see this, companions, is a distraction. We need to quickly decide: are we releasing the bird or not? And he looks around with his hands open.
I said we should release the bird when I first walked up.
All right, let's do it. You got the Igrum. Do you perhaps have the necklace?
I do. I will attempt to free the bird.
What do you do with the necklace?
I wave it over the trap to see if it works like it did on the cage.
We just had to touch it to a symbol on the cage before,
Yes.
right? And
So
it
look
opened.
for that same symbol.
Okay, so you see, you look over the trap and you do find that symbol right where the chain meets the metal of the trap. And when you touch it, it just like cranks back it wide open, set again in the middle of the road. And the bird pulls its foot out. And you have to kind of jump out of the way because you know from experience that touching this metal is not good. Unless you have the necklace. I guess it's probably fine for you. Anyway, the bird like hops out, away and like kind of falls back on its butt and tail feathers and like starts like pecking at its leg, which has like a giant wound in it and a burn mark kind of surrounding it from the metal. And it's just like making that noise and picking like little bits of metal and blood out of the wound on the gash on its bird leg.
Slip's like already back up on his beetle. He's like trying to get everyone to move. Like, quickly now, we have a whole town to save.
So does anyone here speak avian? Because after a few moments of picking, it hops back up to its feet and cocks its head to look at you with, the side of its bright yellow eye again, and it just starts squawking like, caw, 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 caw.
Spitz only speaks common and tree speak.
And it starts hopping up and down and kind of flapping its wings across the road.
I think it was established that Nyx knows just like a little teeny tiny bit. Because like Nyx was the one that kind of helped us with the sparrow.
I'm trying to see.
It would be in the bottom left-hand section of your sheet under other proficiencies and tool proficiencies.
I don't have it. I thought don't you have to have a beak to be able to actually talk it? But I guess it's different to like understand.
Yeah, you can understand it though.
I only know tree speak. Thieves can't in common.
Yeah, the reason I was asking too is some people know. I didn't know if Igram had a spell, like a comprehend language or something, but
I do not.
Spitz has an extra language. He has primordial. I don't know if primordial exists in this universe.
Yeah, not really. If you want to change it to something, I'll even let you change it to avian if you wanted, if you think that would line up.
I feel like Avian would line up because he is of owl totem.
Do you know the tree speak language already?
Yeah, he knows tree speak.
Okay, then yeah,
He's
that's
a
fine.
native tree speaker.
Avian is fine.
I'll change it to Avian because I hung out with the great owl or around the great owl.
That's your boy.
So it's hard to understand, but the bird basically is just frantically being like, thank you for helping me, but there are rats in the forest. Rats up ahead. Rats in the forest.
The bird says he's thankful, but there are rats in the forest ahead. We should be on our toes.
Yes, we know of the rats. Let's ski-daddle, move along down the road,
He
my
keeps
friends.
squawking and being like, you don't understand. The road's not safe. They're in the trees. They have nets. They're waiting. The rats.
They're trying to set up an ambush on the roads. They're in the trees wielding nets.
Can
Okay.
we go a different route or different route around the trees where
We
they're
could-
at?
Friends, we could use these beetles we have to cross the water here and meet them at the bridge on the far side of the river. Assuming they don't have both sides trapped already. Any objections?
No, that sounds like the best plan.
I
was
want
trying think of
to-
any other way.
I want to try and ask the raven in common if it knows if the rats have any traps over the river.
He probably squawks back a little bit. That some of the rats have already made it over the bridge. Like a scouting party already went ahead, but they didn't set up any traps that he knows of. Only this trap on the road, and they're trying to clear the rest, like the eastern portion of the road, to bring in the rest of their troops.
I relay this to the party.
So Slip, what do you think?
I mean, everyone knows the way that I feel.
So we're gonna go down and try to go through the river then, right?
How does everyone feel about that?
I think that sounds like a fine enough plan.
If God wants me, he can have me.
If owl. All right.
Owl.
Yeah. Or
All
Now-
right.
I throw up the deuces to the bird.
Mm-hmm.
I throw up my click as I'm riding away. And now we're heading towards the water through the forest.
Okay, so you're
And
gonna.
I wanna
cut off-
I wanna start casting Speak with Animals.
Okay, how long does it take?
As a ritual spell, 10 minutes plus 1 action.
So you guys start heading off the path into the forest to the south, leaving the bird behind. Is that the idea?
Yep.
Yep.
Excellent. So you cut out into the darkness. Your beetles, kind of long, thin, wide legs, skimming all the brush in the forest and winding between the tree trunks, in the spaces where they can fit. Climbing up and down massive stones with big leaps. They're really nimble and quick. And you just fly through the forest. You feel like the night, air rushing through your ears. And it's just dark all around you. And after maybe, so you'll finish your Speak with Animal spell as you bound through the forest, Spitz. What are you going to use it for?
I just want to talk to the beetles and I want to say, Hello, beetles. I'm sure you know what time of year it is, the long night, where the sun stops coming out and the woods become dangerous.
If they answer at all, it's like they're just like run, 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 eat, run, run, run. Like that's all they say.
I want all of you to know that right now we are in an even deeper amount of danger, and things could turn dangerous at any moment. I would like for all of you to do your best to protect the others should anything happen.
They just keep like sprinting through the forest, and saying run, jump, 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 run, run. Like that's all they say.
Okay.
They don't seem to change based on your words, but they can understand you at least. They seem to know a few words.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm thinking about how like the really complex language you just used would translate into like beetle hisses. Like,
As all of us are on our beetles trying to figure out what's even happening.
I feel like Spitz is proficient in horns, and he has a horn, but I feel like now knowing that he understands avian and that he's talking to these beetles, I feel like it's a duck call now. Like a fucking bird call.
So you and I did a duck call and toad croaking duet at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really bad. It got us money though.
Yeah, we got $14 off of that.
So, you come bounding into a large clearing in the forest that you've never seen before. Of course, the Northwood is thick and varied, and the trees are, absolutely massive. Just the space between the two, kind of roots growing, like root bases growing into the ground of one tree from root to root can be a huge, area of rock and plant to cross. And climbing up over a root of a tree is like climbing up a massive, rock formation. They're huge. But anyway, you come into a clearing in the forest, a small clearing, and standing around the edges of this clearing are like old broken black liths, like monolith stones, like Stonehenge, like creating a small henge in the center of this clearing. And you're kind of, well, who's in front again in this case?
Nyx probably.
So,
Yeah, I'll take point, boys.
Nyx, let's see
Don't even worry.
another perception check.
Oh, why did I get the same? These dice are weighted, dog. I get the same exact score as last time.
So yeah, I think you come bounding in, and before you realize it, you notice that there are also black figures in robes, like shadowed figures in black robes, standing kind of in between each of the stones, encircling this large kind of area, this like 200-foot opening in the forest. And you're like out in the middle and start just like looking around like, what do you say when you see all these people around you?
That's it. I'm just like, what the fuck?
They're like literally just, right on the edges of the forest. And
I kind of like throw my hand up so everybody sees to kind of slow down.
everyone else, as you notice too, you can hear the soft chanting coming from all of the figures. And that's when you notice that as you kind of cross to the opposite side of the circle, there's 3 or 4 of them blocking your path from going into the forest, like crossing out of the clearing and into the forest on the other side. And you kind of notice that you just crossed over a piece of ground where there are some circles and symbols carved into the ground, like rubbed into the grass and dirt of the clearing. And the symbols start to like line with a silver light that starts to like fill the mountain and circle everything as they chant kind of louder and louder. And yeah, like I said, you kind of get to the opposite side of the clearing, and 4 of them kind of step forward out of the stones to stand in your way, with their arms just folded into their robes, into their, huge wizard sleeves. And as the silver light fills the circles, it starts to like swirl and open up, and you hear 2 disgusting, like howling, baying sounds coming through the portal that's opening up in the center of this clearing.
I believe they're casting a ritual.
I concur.
Do we want to stay and find out?
Do they see us? They don't see us.
No, they do see you. You've bounded into this clearing. By the time you were in the clearing, you notice that kind of at the edges of the forest, standing around the entire clearing, are black figures. And as you cross to the other side to go back into the forest, 4 of these figures stand out to block you from leaving.
How far away are the figures? Like,
It's a
what's
big
the
open.
closest figure?
It's a big open clearing. You're like maybe 50 feet away. I'll draw you all a picture, but I think it's too late.
We're
Right?
now encircled.
Yes. Well, mostly. By the time you hear the howling, you can see that 2 creatures are bounding up and out of the portal. Well, I'll switch you to a map and draw you a picture real fast.
Is it a bad idea to attack?
I think that's all we can do.
Because I just rolled my short bow and totally got 24.
I think that's all we can.
Well, you can't attack until you take an initiative.
I know, I know. I didn't even mean to click it. But now I'm pissed off. It's going to be the only good roll I get all night.
Just wishful thinking. Alright. I'm going to redraw this clearing because it's probably bigger. 1 second.
Does it still do that thing where it doesn't show you what you're drawing until you're done?
It's been a while since I've drawn. We'll find out right now. First. There we go. Nope, they fixed it.
Oh, baby.
So you're gonna have to zoom out quite a bit.
That's a pretty big damn clearing.
Yep.
Hey, remember how we thought we were avoiding danger?
Y'all are the ones that want to go out and run into the long night.
We avoided the rats. We didn't say anything about avoiding danger.
Danger is my middle name.
The fucking lycanthropy cultist.
I know Igram is like so happy right now and so freaked out at the same time.
This probably thinks he's hallucinating.
It's just the rabies, just the foam beard acting up again.
The foam beard fever, I tell you what.
Is this gonna be like a Destiny raid where we have like some puzzle we've got to solve?
No, it's not, but this is D&D, so you don't just have to stay here and fight, especially if that's not what you want to do. But the question is, are you going to fight, or is this going to be a chase scene?
You know, I'm always down for a good fight.
I want to run.
You don't want to die again.
I don't want to die. I also want to get across to the other side of this bridge. That's my only goal in life right now. That's the only thing I want to do.
Man, Roll20 is janky sometimes. It's so freaking hard to move like the shapes. It won't give me the selector tool unless I'm like zoomed really far in. Kind of annoying. There we go, something like that. And then robed figures. Oops. Alright, so put your tokens out on the map for me. You're over here somewhere, heading this way. At least you were.
Directly in the circle.
I mean, you don't have to put your tokens. I'm just kind of showing you the situation. So you ride into the circle, these robed figures step out in front of you. You hear the howl, and something seems to be, some kind of dog-like shape seems to be about to protrude out of this portal behind you. So what do you do? What do you say? Who does what? What happens next? The figures aren't outwardly stopping you. They seem to be continuing their chant.
I wield my warhammer.
It can't be good, man. Like, we could leave them here, but what if they're about to rip a hole, like a portal, and bring hell onto Blue Cliff? Like, we don't know what's about to happen if we leave them be.
I do know that the rats will then destroy Blue Cliff. Speed is of the essence here. Let us run.
Yeah, I think we ought to get out of here as quickly as we can.
You know what I always say, not my chair, not my problem.
But like, I feel like if we can kill these things, then the rats should be no problem.
Or these things will injure us and make our battle with the rats very difficult. Let's go.
So do you just like kick off and take off ahead, Slip?
Yep.
All right, before I start running at full speed, because I'm a fucking squirrel and I'm fast as fuck, I want to yeet a bag of caltrops onto their summoning circle.
All right. I love it. So you throw some caltrops. I'll say they spread. Does it take up a 5-foot square? Is that what it is?
I don't remember. Let's see.
I'll just say it takes up a 10-foot like this. There you go.
Yeah, it's a 5-foot square.
It's a weird little nipple you've created for us.
What?
You've created us a strange nipple.
How do you mean? Oh, the spell circle. It's not a nipple. It's a hinge. It's a forest. All right. Well, so you kick ahead and take off between the robed cultists. They don't try and stop you, but you see two hideous creatures as you look over your shoulder slip, bound out of the portal and start chasing all of you. They almost have what they say like the ancient like illustrations of humans and giants that you've seen. They almost have a face like that, but the body of a dog and red glowing eyes. These giant kind of hound like creatures.
It's terrifying.
What?
I think we should have stayed and watched this for a little bit. This is just amazing.
Can we not do this right now, Ikram? Can we not?
Ingram is following you as we're riding, but he's like looking backwards, going, "Okay, they're about this tall. They were chanting some stuff. I need to remember what they were chanting. I saw one rune. I don't know if all of them.
Yeah,
Maybe that's something to do with the special site. I'll have to write this."
So we'll do a chase encounter. Let's take a really quick break first. But you know what this creature reminds me of? Just like insert insert Full Metal Alchemist Chimera dog meme.
Absolutely, yes. Can't afford daycare and pet sitting?
This is actually a really classic D&D evil fae creature called a Yeth hound.
There was just some dude named named Seth that they really hated.
And they named him Yeth. And I think it's based on some folklore. So two of them come bounding out behind you. So we'll take a 5-minute break and we'll come back and we'll run a really quick chase encounter as you escape into the woods. And we'll play for like 30 more minutes, 30, 40, 45 more minutes.
Yeah, whatever.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right, everyone who's tuning in, thanks for doing so. We'll be right back. All right, so we are back. Thank you for waiting. When we had left off, the party had stumbled into this woodland clearing. And in this woodland clearing... Sorry, that was... The intro music again was going. When we left off, the party had stumbled into a woodland clearing. And 2 Yeth hounds had appeared from a portal. And began to give chase. So... let's do some initiative.
Oh, baby.
And remember, we're running towards the river.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't even know what that direction is. East. Are we east? Is it east or west?
A direction.
East.
Wombo.
Did you try saying it to Wumbo?
On God, you better set that shit to Wombo right now.
Swear on your fucking Yeezys.
Yo, he do be looking kind of wumbo, though. There's a button that says initiative here.
Wait, I don't know if you did it right though, Colin, because it didn't add you to the turn order.
Well, that
Yeah.
turn order is from...
No, it's not.
You have to click on your token
You have
and
to have
then
your
click
to-
in the macro button.
Yeah, you have to have your token selected. Usually you click your token and then click initiative and the little button in the top left corner. It's cool though.
But like my token on my physical map, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got you. Would you roll on 11?
Yeah.
All right. One second here. What was I? Oh, I'm giving you guys water. I'm giving you water beetle tokens for your mounts.
Oh, baby.
1 second. Ooh, I like this one. It's cute. Y'all are gonna like it.
Why are those dogs tokens so much bigger than ours? Holy shit.
Because they're large creatures.
They're fucking the size of tanks, and we're like a smart car.
They're like the size of, more like small horses. That's right, because you got these bad boys. Hold on.
We've got these fat fucks.
Oh, baby!
Oh, fuck, it's Dupiter.
Hold on, it's too big. Yeah.
Wait, that's not Dupiter. That's whatever the fuck Dupiter becomes, that ugly animal. What's that little skank called?
Oh, God. Gee.
What?
Arachnid. I didn't like those. I didn't like those ones.
Jesus.
I had a wishy-washy for my water type.
Called it a skank and all.
I really like calling people skanks as of late.
That's your new word of the day.
It's my calling card.
What about that? What do you call that dance they do at ska shows?
Yeah. What do you call that?
It's that dance, in it?
The water bug?
The water bug.
Alright. Here's your mounts. You should be able to move and control their tokens. If you hold shift and double click their tokens, It will show you their stat block. They're basically a riding horse, but just a beetle. They can move 60 feet. You can move them 60 feet on your turn. Now, we're not really going to use the map here because we don't have enough space to do a whole chase scene, so we're going to do it theater of the mind as you dash ahead. But so as you start to run out of the clearing, you know, Slip pulls into the lead, but Spitz, you get the first to go. You're quickest on the draws. The hounds bay and run out behind you.
All right, so what's my go?
So the way chases work, by the way, I forgot we need to figure this out real quick. You get a limited number of dash actions. So everyone real quick, just do me a favor, type into chat your Constitution modifier. Just the modifier.
Just the modifier. Just the tip. Where's it at? Where you at? Oh. I ain't looking too hot.
0. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 3. I'm gonna say plus. We'll do 2. So you guys have 7 dash points, is what we're gonna call them. I'll write it right here.
Like a piece or in total?
As a group.
Boy. Just what I wanted you
I
to
will say, we'll say there's 8. There's 4 of you. So, because it does say plus 3 in the book. So 8. You have 8 points. And the Yeth Hounds have 6.
They have 49.
So you can dash. So you have that many dashes between all of you. Each time you take the dash action on your turn, it takes away from your number, right? From your team's number. But once you're out, you can keep dashing. You just have to make a Constitution save to avoid exhaustion. If that makes sense.
Boy, with that modifier of 0, I'm sure I'm gonna be doing great.
Well,
What are the escape conditions?
escape conditions are: you are the quarry, they are the hunters. You have to either successfully hide, lose them, or yeah, that's the only two: hide or lose them.
Or kill them.
But you know, on your turns, you can use your spells and actions and stuff like that still, and try and come up with creative solutions to kind of get rid of them and have chances for those things to work.
Anybody got a spell that sends them to the Shadow Realm?
I have Beast Bond.
You guys should become homies with them.
I don't think they're gonna want to become homies with me. Beast Bond can only be used on a willing beast.
I'd say your chances are slim to none.
All right,
Okay, so
let's move along. Spitz, what are you doing on your turn?
All right, so as a reminder, there are caltrops down somewhere in the circle. So I look down at my spider, not my spider, my beetle, and I say, "Hey, y'all remember when you were talking about run earlier? Let's run again. Let's talk about run again." And then I'll have my spider start fucking running. Do I use my movement or my
You
beetle's?
Your mount's movement is your movement while you're riding it.
What is my mount's movement?
60 feet.
All right. Well, let's move 60 feet.
well, we're not using the map though, right?
No. I mean, we can do, for like, we'll do it for now, but it'll get to a point where we'll stop and we'll just kind of track the numbers. Probably. You are, as a group, actually, let's not use the map. As a group, we'll say you are about 30 feet ahead. About 40 feet ahead.
I mean, that's still pretty accurate, though. Even the map's showing that.
Yeah, but like I said, soon we'll run out of runway here, space. So it's easier just to start with the math rather than trying to convert halfway through the chase. So you as a group, you're more kind of evenly paced. Maybe some of you slightly ahead of the others. But it would be more like something like this.
All right.
But you're just like riding as a group, you know, charging through the group of black-robed people into the forest beyond. So Spitz, you're gonna move your mount's movement speed 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you dash on ahead. So you can use your dash action to go another 60. Or you can use something else for your action.
Maybe.
You can ready
I'll
an
wait
action.
and see what the future holds.
So you're not going to do anything for your action?
I'm going to. Can I shoot my sling at one of the beasts?
Sure.
Sling +1. Woo!
Sling plus
Yes.
fucking 1.
Oh shit!
Wow, critical hit.
Fucking kill this guy with my fucking 2d4.
Yo, sling +1.
Sling plus 1, 8
Good night,
damage.
baby.
That's a max melee attacks damage right there.
Then you roll a crit 1 on the damage die.
Yeah, ain't that some shit.
So, 8. Oh, wait. This is confusing. 1d4 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1. It's rolling too many plus 1s.
Here, let's see.
Do you have
Where's
a
that
range?
coming from?
Do you have some kind of range attack bonus? Or do you have ranged? No.
I don't think so.
I think you maybe
so
went.
that's only.
Yeah, you don't need to add in anything in the mod field. It looks like it already has the magic bonus put in there. So it's actually 5 plus.
Yeah, 5 plus 2, that's
2.
7.
Okay, 7 damage. Anything else, Spitz?
No, that will be all for now, and I'm gonna roll it again just to see if. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. You're 100 feet in front of the Yeth Hounds, 60 feet in front of the pack. Meanwhile, one of the Yeth Hounds will also dash forward. First, before he dashes forward, he is going to let out a baleful, horrifying. But this one's laced with magic.
Does he step on me, caltrops?
Every enemy, no, not yet, but his partner might. Every enemy within 300 feet of the Yeth Hound that can hear it must succeed on a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw. So everyone make a DC 13 Wisdom save. Or be frightened until the end of the Hound's next turn.
So do I just make a wisdom save?
Yeah.
Yep, and 13. DC means difficulty class, or that's the number you have to beat with your Wisdom save. So DC 13 means you need a 13 or better.
Well, it's a good thing we're trying to run away from them.
Because we all failed.
He's so scurry.
All right, so you were all frightened, meaning they have advantage on you, and you have disadvantage if they are in your line of sight, I believe. Let's see. I don't know if you have disadvantage. They definitely have advantage, though.
Do our beetles need to make saves?
A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of their fear is within their line of sight.
What if you close your eyes?
And you can't willingly move closer to the creatures. So,
I'm not trying to get close to it.
a frightened creature that starts its turn within 30 feet of the hound must use all of its movement on that turn to get as far away from the hound as possible, must finish the move before taking an action, and must take the most direct route even if hazards lie in the way.
Tight.
A target that successfully saves versus the bay is immune for the next 24 hours. So
None of us did.
yeah, I know. But you will have other chances possibly. So it's until the end of this hound's next turn that you're frightened. And he's also going to run 40 feet up on you, which puts him right up in line with like the back of your party. Like they're nipping at your heels, basically.
Yep, 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 yep.
Yeth Hound, the other one is going to run and attack at Igrim. Now I'm going to say, yeah, probably Igrim. Wait, who's got the lowest initiative? Actually, Nyx. The other one runs 30 feet up, and we'll say that he does hit your caltrops, possibly. How do caltrops work?
All right.
Let's see.
Caltrops.
As an action, you spread the bag, DC 15 dex save, or stop moving and take 1 piercing damage.
And until it regains HP, it's reduced by 10 feet, its movement speed.
Dang, so it slips and falls into the spiky little metal balls you've thrown all in the grass, and kind of howls in pain as it kind of collapses to the grass for a second, only taking 1 damage, but permanently slowing its movement by 10 feet. Nice move.
Hell yeah.
So it gains
Now about 2 bags.
no ground.
Haha, loser.
Fuckhead.
Igrim.
Ingram is going to look at the hound that is approaching the group and realize that spits throughout caltrops and cast. Or I have to move first, don't I?
Mm-hmm. Well, you can. No, it's just like a normal turn. You can move and then attack or attack.
I think it says I have to move first.
If you're within 30 feet.
Oh, because of your fear. If you're within 30 feet, which you would be of the other closest one, is like pretty much even with you guys or right behind you.
Okay. So yeah, so I move away and grease where I was. So I can cast grease within 40 feet, I think.
Okay. Covers a 10-foot square centered on a point. Centered on a point within range, it turns into difficult terrain for the duration.
And then that is my turn.
Cool, so you cast a pool of grease underneath the hound's feet. What does it look like as you cast the grease spell?
So Igrim is on the water beetle and has his staff or kind of across his back and pulls out the thing that Daisy made him and kind of looks at it a little bit, grabbing it, looking at the crystal, and kind of shrugs his shoulders and starts to whisper the words and pull out that little bit of dinner that they had last night from his pocket and kind of pinch it to the wand. And you see like a bolt of like this weird liquidy thing comes shooting out of the edge of the wand, and he smiles as it lands in the pool of the ground.
Love it. All right, so you cast Pool of Grease. Dexterity saving throw or fall prone. When the grease appears. So you put it right on the closest one to you or the one that's further back in the caltrops? Would you say?
Closest one to me.
Okay. So he makes a dex save immediately. What's your spell save DC?
13.
Oh, he misses it. Barely fails. And a creature that enters the area in its turn there must also succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. So he falls prone behind you, like literally shwing, like slipping and sliding and bang, trying to like, you know, scrambling to get back up on his feet and chase you. He slips and falls in the grease. Nice moves. All right, Slip.
All I can do is run away. I don't have any attacks I can reach from my move speed, so.
It's all right. Dashing, that's the goal here. Is you guys aren't, even though most people have been doing battle stuff, you guys are really trying to escape more than anything. Otherwise, these rogue figures are probably going to close in on you. You need to get moving.
Yeah, so Slip just moves my movement speed behind them.
Okay, so you run ahead 60 feet on your beetle. Now you can then use one of the party's dashes to go 60 more feet, and then, you know, get even 60 feet ahead of Spitz even.
I'll save the dash for if we need it.
Okay. So you're even with Spitz.
Yeah, I'm just right up in the middle. And then in turn.
Nyx.
Alright, new drink. Alright, so I'm gonna go 60 feet ahead, and then I'm gonna dip around, and I am going to attempt to hit the one that's prone with my. Or actually, how much further away is the one that's not prone?
Right now it is only like 35 feet from you. If you run 60 feet first, it would be 95 feet. So if you have a longbow, is that what you have?
No, it's a short bow, so I would
I
be
think that-
rolling with disadvantage, right?
I think that's still in short
It's
range.
80 feet is
It was-
short range.
So just you could.
You'd be rolling disadvantage anyway, though, because you're afraid.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
Because you're
What
feared.
if I'm shooting the one that's prone? Do I still have a disadvantage on that, or does
Actually,
it kind of even it out?
No, it's the opposite. Shooting something that's prone at range is harder to hit.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna shoot the one that's standing. So
Yeah, either would be,
And
but
I
either would be at
missed.
disadvantage, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you do miss.
I missed as hell. All right, now made my turn.
Alright.
Guess that's that, fellas.
Spits.
All right. So I am going to. Let's see. First of all, I'm gonna fucking run 60 feet. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and use one of the dashes.
Okay, so you'll go 120 feet ahead.
And I can't use my squirrel's agility because I am on a mount.
Right.
Okay.
So you're
I'm
now
going.
60 feet ahead of Slip, 120 feet ahead, 125 feet ahead of the closest Yeth Hound.
All right. So I have
That's slipping around in a grease pool.
a hunting trap from my background as a outlander. I want to take that hunting trap and I want to throw it into a patch of grass.
You already used your action to dash.
Oh, you're right. Fuck.
F.
And now you have 7 left. Anything else?
All right. All right. That's it then.
Next turn. But you can, as a free action, get it out and ready it.
Yeah, we'll get it out and ready it.
So Yethound in the grease. If it starts its turn in there, it has to do it as well. A creature that enters the area or ends its turn there. So I don't think he has to make another check to stand back up, right?
Unless he ends his
so.
turn there, you're good.
Yeah, he just has to use half his movement
Or
to stand up. and
enters
then
the
move
area.
out.
It enters the area or ends. So he does use half of his movement to stand up, yeah, and then he'll dash. He'll run 20 feet ahead. And then I think he's going to use one of his group's dashes to go 40 more feet, bringing him to a total of 55 on this turn, bringing him right up behind Slip again, like literally on your heel. Slip, he could attack you if he had an action, but he doesn't. The other one on the Caltrops only has 30 feet of movement. He's going to also dash, so they're down to 4 dashes. And let's see, 30. He can only go 60 total. Which brings him still pretty far back. Behind you guys, trailing behind. Igrim. So one Yethound is nipping on your heels, Igrim and Slip. Well, the other's a little further back still.
Okay, I am going to continue to run away because I have to for 60 feet.
Okay.
And then it doesn't really work. Actually, I'll just use a dash and go another one.
So you're 120 feet ahead now. Up there,
Yep.
back up with Spitz. You catch up to Spitz as you both like dash into the darkness of the forest, like jumping over rocks and roots with your beetles through the darkness. And you guys are down to 6 dashes as a group. All right. Anything? Slip.
I'm gonna move and dash as well.
Okay. So you pull back out ahead. So as you pull out ahead, actually, Igram, roll a d20 for me. You dash out ahead on your beetle into the darkness of the forest, like down through a ravine between some tree branches and like
Nat 20.
over some rocks. And sweet, on a nat 20, no complications for Slip as he dashes. Slip, you are now 60 feet ahead of the rest of the group.
So I'm not frightened anymore because
no,
the frightened ends at the end of their first turn.
no one is frightened any longer. But real quick, before your turn, Nick, Slip, you roll a d20 for me. Flat d20.
Just like /R D20.
Yep, /R space d20.
Oh, baby.
Nice, no complications for Nyx. So Nyx, what do you do?
Well, I'm a dash, baby.
All right. That puts your group dashes at 5.
Or wait, question before I make that firm decision. Can I attack and then dash, or do I have to dash? The dash is an action. Obviously.
Well, you are a rogue, right? No, you're.
Yeah, scout.
Oh yeah, so you have the dash as a dash or disengage as a bonus action, so you can attack
So I
and
can
dash.
Attack and then dash. Dope. Well, I'm attack first. With my bow.
Okay.
To whichever one's closest.
And you hadn't dashed before, right, Nyx?
No, I haven't dashed yet.
Yeah, so this will catch you up with everyone else, with Igram and.
Oh,
Spitz.
baby! Oh.
And you loose a arrow into the darkness behind you as it just sinks into the closest Yeth Hound trailing behind you guys.
4 piercing. All right, baby.
Though-
Now I'm a dash.
Though it doesn't seem to be that effective on the magical creature.
You know what's effective? My ego. All right, Charlie. So now I get the dash.
So
I get some sort of satisfaction.
So with your dash, you catch back up to Igram and Spitz riding hard, and you see Slip like out in the forest in front of you, leading the way, like charging down into the ravine between the roots and vines in the darkness. Spitz, anything on your turn? What do you do?
All right, I will take the bear trap or hunting trap of whatever would be appropriate for a squirrel to use, and I want to throw it onto the ground behind me. And I want to, as I'm doing this, I want to loudly whistle to get the attention of the party so they can see where I drop the trap.
All right. So you
No,
throw down
not
your hunting trap.
And with that, I will end my turn.
Let's see here. All right, the F-Hound charges forward, not noticing your trap, and steps right on the plate, having to make a dexterity saving throw as you dash through the woods. Ooh, it hits him. Boy, does it hit him. The trap is affixed to a heavy chain to an immobile object. Ooh, so that part's not going to work. But he is going to take 1d4 piercing damage. I'm going to say, it says he stops moving, but I'm going to say he does not. He just keeps running with the trap attached to him.
Can we call it like the caltropes? Or the caltropes and just give him a little bit of a debuff to his movement speed?
Yeah, but I'm going to say less, like 5 feet.
Yeah, I was thinking less too.
Okay, cool. So this trap latches onto his leg. Roll 1d4 for the damage as he howls but keeps running with the contraption snatched onto his hind leg.
It's not a magical hunting trap.
Nope, just a normal hunting trap. The 3 damage. Doesn't seem super effective because it is not magical. The second one is still lagging behind. He is going to use another one of their dashes, putting them down to 3 to move 60 feet. Putting him still pretty far behind the rest of you. The one with the hunting trap, let's see, moved 40 and then 35. As he also dashed. Oh yeah, he catches back up to you guys. At least to Spitz, Igram, and Nyx. He's hurt and slowed down now, but he still catches back up to you. That puts them at 2 dashes. Igram. So one of them's still lagging behind, the one with the caltrop in his foot. And the one that's covered in oil and has a trap attached to his leg is still right behind you, but lagging and starting to look more tired now.
Igram is going to cast. It's right next to us.
Oh, it's like right behind you, 5 or 10 feet behind you.
Okay. What size is this? Medium or large creature?
They are large. Also, sorry, Igram, Spitz, real quick, roll a d20.
14.
No complications. Go ahead, Igram.
So large creature. Okay.
Yeah.
So Igram, this is a water beetle. Starts to, again, is holding the wand in his hand, kind of thinking this is a lot easier to carry on a mount than the staff, and uses the bottom of the staff, kind of start chanting as he's grabbing the wand a little bit harder, and he like hits the shell or the carapace of the beetle a little harder and harder. He's gonna cast Toll the Dead on the.
Okay. So as you tap it, it lets out like a gong.
Yep.
Magical ringing that pierces through the ears of everyone, but mostly the enemies. And they make a wisdom save?
Yep.
The closest one, right?
Yep.
He makes a save.
Yep. And then I'm gonna ride 60 feet ahead.
Okay. So you catch up to Slip. Or you're right behind Slip, rather.
And then
So-
Slip's gonna.
Wait, Slip, sorry. Igram D20. Everybody roll a D20 at the end of your turn if you can remember. I keep forgetting. Okay, so this goes for Slip. So Slip, you like jump down, leading the party on your beetle over some rocks and like cross a small stream, and like you see a small thicket of like these yellow kind of flowers that are pretty common in the forest, and you like try and steer your beetle away from them because they're just like so thick with pollen, but your beetle like dashes right through the foliage, continuing on through the ravine, and like a giant puff of yellow pollen like explodes up into your face and nose as you ride. Make a DC 10 con save for me. Nice. You're able to like close your eyes and like pull your hands off the reins and just like cover your nose and mouth just in time. You come out sneezing and coughing, but you're not blinded or slowed down or anything as you burst through this like little wall of plant life into the forest, more forested ravine and the darkness beyond. So now, sorry, what do you do for the rest of your turn?
I'm just gonna move and then end my turn.
Okay, so you dash ahead another 120 feet?
Just 60 feet.
Well, you're not going to use one of the dashes. You guys have 5 left.
Yeah, no, it's all good. They can't catch up to me.
They are... okay. Yeah, you might be right. I'm not sure though. So you
By
move.
my math, they'll still be 25 feet behind.
You are. Oh yeah. Oops, I'm looking at Spitz. Sorry. So you go ahead 60 more feet. Gotcha. Next.
Alright. Same plan, baby. Is I am going to shoot my short bow and then dash. When I dash, I can still go the full 120, or am I dashing 60?
No, you're moving, shooting, then dashing technically.
Yeah, but when I dash,
Or shooting,
after I shoot,
or shooting, moving, then dashing. So
Shooting,
meaning
moving,
you take an action, a movement, and then a bonus on top of your normal movement.
dope. So I still get to go the full 120, right?
Yep.
All right, fantastic. That's what I was hoping for. 15, is that hit?
It does.
Dope.
Cool.
9 piercing. Whoa, okay.
But really more like 4.
Yeah.
As it, again, doesn't seem very phased by the arrow.
And then I will dash.
All right.
Move and then dash.
So, Nix, you pull out ahead of Slip now. No, right behind Slip, actually. Catching up and jumping down through, like, this tramped down, like, kind of trail of flowers and vines into the next, like, little ravine between the stones of the forest floor. And you run on through the night. Roll a d20 for me. Real quick, Nix.
Gotcha. 18.
No complications as Spitz charges on. You still have one right behind you, Spitz. Or pretty well even with you, actually.
In that case, I'm going to. Let me look at this ability. I'm going to use my bonus action, and I'm going to get mad, and I'm going to rage.
Okay.
And I'm going to move my 60 feet. And I'm going to throw a spear at the one closest.
Okay. So you dash ahead through the forest, kind of look back over your shoulder and reel back, and the foam forming around your mouth, loose a spear, and it hits the one that's still closest to you, pursuing you. For 4 piercing.
Oh, it's I forgot to add the rage damage.
For 6 piercing.
Actually, it would be 5, right? Because the rage damage is also halved.
I don't think it is.
Is it?
It's not.
It would bring the total to 10.
Right, but you only have piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning, so that's all this creature is immune to.
I don't think the rage damage is like magic, right? I think it's just you hit extra hard.
I guess so, yeah.
I'll let you roll it however you want to roll it. You're the dungeon master here.
That's how we've always done it. I don't know why. Anyway.
Okay.
It's in your favor regardless. Anything else?
That's it.
Alright. Yethound 2. The one that's closest to you.
Complication of 10.
Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, it easily is able to, even with its slowed movement, damaged foot, is easily able to run out and even pull ahead of Igram and Spitz, kind of standing in your path and waiting for you. So it stands about 10 feet out in front of you and turns and stops and readies an action as you run past it, Spitz. Actually, I'm not even going to say readies an action, it just runs up to you and tries to grapple you.
What is this then? Contested athletics?
Mm-hmm.
I have advantage because I'm raging.
Right.
16. Oof.
It grabs you by the back of your neck and pulls you off of your horse, off of your water beetle. As your beetle dashes on into the night, it like slows down and holds you there. Meanwhile, while you're grappled, the other Yeth Hound, let's see, at 30 feet, 95, 105, 125, yeah, would be able to get, would he be able to? Hold on, let me see here. No, never mind. He's not able to catch up without dashing, but he does dash and catch up and is now like getting ready to chomp down on you as the other one has a hold of you. So he dashes up to you. And Igram's turn.
Igram sees who went down. Fitz got tackled.
So Igram, yeah, this is actually like right in front of you, like next to you. You and Spitz are like in the back, and he's pretty close to you. And you see the hound like comes up, like dashes past him, kind of comes around a tree, like jumps off down a small root, and like tackles him off of his beetle. And you like look over, and you just see like his beetle with no rider, just like an empty saddle next to you, still striding. And you look back, and you see him being dragged by like his shoulder in the beast's jaw.
Igram sees that and kind of swerves his beetle back around so that Fitz can get on if he can get free. And he looks at his wand and kind of curses under his breath. And he starts to chant a couple things and pulls out like a little a medallion that he had, or kind of pinches a medallion that he had on his he's wearing, and points his wand at and shoots out Ray of Sickness.
Okay. It hits the creature dead on.
And so it needs to make a Constitution saving.
Okay, so a ray of sickening greenish energy lashes out towards the creature. On a hit, the target takes 2d8 poison damage, and on a failed con save, it also is poisoned until the end of your next turn, the poison condition. Ooh, it makes the save. But it does take the 2d8 damage no matter what.
13.
So, poison splatters into its eyes. It is now bloodied. As it like grunts and makes weird half-human noises, trying to shake the poison out of its eyes.
And I am waiting for, well, I'm not running away, staying there so he can get on.
So you're holding your ground. So you like pull up your mount to a stop.
Mm-hmm.
Slip. Let me look here. You're at 250. They're at 180. So a little less than 100 feet behind you. You look back and can see just the movement of them in the road. And I think you can probably tell that Igram has stopped and that Spitz has been dismounted.
Oh boy. Well, Slip's gotta go back.
Alright.
And group up. Is there room for 2 on a beetle?
There is, yeah. But, you know, it's not as comfortable or as easy of a ride, but it's doable.
So we got one person off a beetle. And another person who's on the beetle completely stopped.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna ride towards Oh man. I guess just back towards to where they are. I don't know if that puts me
How far are the beetles from their position?
So you can, if you go 60 feet back, you're right now 250 out, and Igram is 185 out. So let's see, 260 minus 180. You're like 80 feet away from Igram, who's stopped in the road. So if you go back 60 feet, you're just 20 feet behind him. And on the other side of you, 15 feet away is where they have spits in their jaws.
Okay, so I can use a ranged attack from that position then.
Yeah, you being close enough.
Okay, I'm gonna move back and then give him the old guiding bolt, the one that has spits.
All right.
That is an 11.
That will miss as your guiding bolt blasts off into the darkness of the trees.
Yeah, that's it.
Nyx's turn.
Alright, well, I am just going to move in. Or he's bloodied, right? I feel like I just missed a lot. Okay, well, I'm going to attack the bloodied one with my short bow again, and then I'm gonna just book it.
Okay.
As I rear back and go to shoot. 14, is that a hit?
Hold on 1 second. Yes, it is.
Boom. 4 piercing damage, which is inconsequential, but whatever. And then how many dashes do we have left? I can't see very much of this. Let's see. 5. We have 5 left.
Zoom out.
I will use a dash then. And dash further ahead.
Okay.
And then I will end my turn.
I mean, at this point, it's not really like a chase anymore. It's just a battle. I don't know if you want to.
Oh, is it?
I mean, they have your friend still grappled on the ground.
Okay, so I think my Discord cut out, and I just missed a lot of what happened then.
They've pulled spits off of his mount into the road behind you.
Oh, yeah, I missed quite a bit.
Or
of
not
that
not
exchange.
into the road, but the forest floor, I guess. But yeah.
All right, well then I guess I'm not running anywhere. I guess I'll just. How close am I to Spitz?
Spitz is 180. You are 240. So just you're 60 away. So just you can just use your movement to get there in no time.
Yeah, I'll move closer. So I'm gonna move closer, and then I'll end my turn.
Okay. I'm gonna put you guys on an actual map now that this is no longer a chase.
If Spitz could get on my beetle, we could technically take.
Yeah, I mean, it could still be a chase. If Spitz breaks this grapple, he can bonus action dash, feline agility, and deadass just get back on his beetle. Because Spitz can bonus action dash while he's raging.
Oh, and it is your turn. Very likely.
All right,
They,
so
they got you probably like this. Excuse me. And
would
hold
it be
on. So Slip or Nyx, on your turn, you could get all the way back to here if you wanted to.
All the way back to where?
So you were like up here. You guys were heading this way through the forest, right?
Are we on the right map?
Yeah, I was about to say I can't see anything. Man.
Sorry, I didn't put you on the new map. My bad.
F. L.
So moving back would put me
all the way
Like-
back to Spitz. This is not exact. You were 60 feet ahead. Exactly.
Ahaha.
From like right here.
Okay. Well then, that's where I ended my turn, right?
If that's where is that where you want to be? Like right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dope. Let's do it. If I die, I die. If it's my time, it's my time.
So it's probably something more like that. There we go.
Let's hope I didn't bone myself here.
All right, Spitz's turn.
All right. So what do I have to do to get ungrappled?
Successfully grapple. So beat a contested athletics check as your action.
Okay. And what exactly does the grappled condition impose?
You can't move. You can attack, but at disadvantage. If I recall correctly, but let's double check that. Grappled. Grappled creature's speed becomes 0 and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if its effect is removed, or if an effect removes the grappled creature from the reach of the grappler, like a Thunderwave ability.
All right. So I see that my friends are saying back, and we've ran a pretty good distance away from the cultists, so I'm not worried about getting ganged up on, so I'm probably going to start swinging.
Okay.
And just make a Warhammer attack at the one... Is the one that's grappling me the bloody...
Yep.
And a Warhammer attack at that guy.
Okay. So you attack at the one that's biting down on your shoulder, kind of like with a backward over your shoulder swing.
And I'm going to invoke my trait as I am in a battle frenzy, foam pouring out of my mouth, swinging blindly with my hand.
Okay. You're invoking your rabies for an advantage.
Advantage, that is correct. $23.
Whew.
It's a hit. By the way, these are like little cliffs here, if you didn't notice. Kind of running through the tree roots.
It's pretty sad. Six damage, non-magical.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's your health looking like?
I'm at full health.
Okay, tight.
I was just grappled. I wasn't hurt at all.
All right. Anything else, Spitz? Move it along.
That'll be it.
All right. Yethhound has you grappled and is going to bite down on you even harder with advantage because you are grappled.
Dead.
Good thing I'm raging.
Good thing.
Yeeted to the Shadow Realm.
Good thing for you, you're not frightened because you only take the 13 plus 6 piercing.
19 have to
8?
8. No,
9.
not quite right.
9.
9.5.
Yeah, so I rounded down to 9.
Oh shit.
So you take 9 damage as he clamps down on you harder. His buddy is going to, again, let out that sorrowful bail. That bay. Everybody make a DC 13 wisdom saving throw or be frightened. Spitz, you make it, luckily.
Do you tie as you succeed or not, or
You-
not?
If you tie, you do succeed. So Igram makes it,
Okay.
Slip fails it, and becomes frightened. You're
The
not,
healer runs away.
you're not immune to fright or anything, right?
Nope. Are these things undead?
Nope.
They are fair, Regis.
Yeah, they're fey. But you probably wouldn't know that. Let's see. Someone didn't roll. Nyx? Wisdom save. As the hound bays. Let's another bay out.
Oh, woo.
Are you there, Nyx?
He's been having problems.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
Alright. I'll make it for him real fast. Wisdom save. 16. Nyx succeeds as well.
Sorry, I walked away at the worst time.
It's alright. Igrim, go ahead.
Okay, so Igram sees that the one is totally biting. Fits. Realizing what happened to Slip. How long has it been? Has it even been a day?
But probably just over 10, yeah, like 8 to 10 hours.
Igram kind of grits his teeth. And thinks of Blue Cliff at the same time. He's looking at seeing Spitz get knocked on. And he kind of reaches his wand out while saying a thing, and you see a hand kind of reach out from the ground as it tries to grab the thing so he can try and get away.
It
He casts
successfully, the skeletal hand that forms clamps down onto the Yeth Hound. 1d8 necrotic. You can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn. Until then, the hand clings to the target. If you hit an undead target, it also has disadvantage on attack rolls. Alright, so you do 6 damage to it. Alright, Slip. You are frightened, so what that means is you're not completely immobilized, I don't think. Oh wait, hold on, let me see what the thing says.
I have to run away the totality of my movement from them at the start of my turn.
If you start within 30 feet, which you aren't, you have to use all of your movement. But you're not, so you don't have to. But for frightened, you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls when they are within your line of sight. And you can't willingly move closer to them. So you can still like cast spells on your teammates and things like that. At no cost to you.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Spitz.
Okay. Do you have Bless as a spell? Just curious.
I do.
Nice. You can click the Disciple of Life too. So adds 2 plus the spell's level 3. So,
Yeah, so that'd be 8 in total.
8 healing spits.
Almost back up to full. 37 out of 38.
And then I end my turn.
Nyx.
Oh, baby. All right. Well, I'm going to try to... I don't even know what the best way to help Spitz is at this point in time, honestly.
Keep attacking.
Yeah, I guess I'll attack with my short sword +1 to the bloodied one.
Okay.
14, is that a hit? Yeah, that's a hit, right?
Yep.
So 6 piercing.
Nice.
To the one that's got Spitz.
So your magical short sword +1 just like slices right through, like almost like making a magical hiss as it cuts into their skin.
Ooh, baby. All right. Well, I'm trying to think of what else I can do.
You can bonus action disengage.
Yeah, I
just
guess
to,
I'll
like,
bonus action. Yeah.
Get yourself out of
trying
lines, harm or whatever.
because I have cunning action. I also have skirmisher. Yeah, so I'll disengage then.
Okay, so use cunning action to disengage after your attack.
Yep.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go. What's the movement speed of the hounds? Do we know that?
It's somewhere around 40, but they're kind of both fucked up right now, so it's a little different for each one, but somewhere around there.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna move 30 feet away,
Okay.
and then I'll end my turn. Yeah, dope. This is what I'll do. I'll move here.
Cool.
And then end.
Spits.
There we go.
Still grappled.
All right. I have been grappled for too damn long. I'm going to attempt to make that contested check.
Okay.
Ooh.
You break out of his jaws.
All right. And with that, I will...
I imagine you have like a little moment where you like arms shaking and bulging, like tear his jaws off of you with both hands, you know, like fucking Tarzan style.
Yeah. And with that, I will... Actually...
Come on, man. How reckless are we about to be?
I'm gonna step away from them. 25 feet. Any opportunity attacks they make against me have disadvantage as I weave in and out of battle with the grace of an eagle. I mean, owl.
Oops, wrong attack. Opportunity attacks. 13 and
They
12
both
both
miss.
miss.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Spits?
That is all for Spitz.
All right, the one that had you grappled. Well, let me see here. Yeah, the one that had you grappled is gonna chase you down, bounding towards you, behind you, and desperately biting at you as you run, but missing. Meanwhile, the other one limps forward towards Igrim, seeing that you're, you know, the fear in your eyes, Igrim, and leaps at you on the back of your mount, biting at you with its weird human-like jaws.
Yeah, that hits.
Oof. That-
Jesus.
That's gonna be 24
That's dead.
damage.
Why is the psychic on there?
If you're
Egrim's not frightened, is
oh,
he?
I'm not
you
feared.
succeeded. Ah, that's right. Lucky for
Still
you.
hurts.
Yep, 11 piercing.
That's a life or death difference right there.
Egrim's bloodied. Igrim, your turn.
Igrim is going to look at the one that just jumped on him and cast Gust of Wind
Okay.
to try and push it back.
That's also the greasy one, isn't it?
Yep.
No.
No, that's the one that's on Spitz, actually, the bloodied one. So, a line of strong ones, 60 feet long and 10 feet wide, blast from you in a direction you choose for the spell's duration. Each creature that starts in the turn in the line must succeed on a strength saving throw. Or be pushed
Pushing both away.
15 feet. Alright, let me draw a square for where your wind is here. Your wind tunnel. Something like that.
Does it hit both of them? Then yeah.
Yeah, that will hit both of them. Do you see my square there?
Yep.
Cool.
And that's my turn.
Alright. So let me roll their saves and stuff real fast. So is it when they start their turn there? Each
When they
creature
start
that
their turn.
starts its turn. Yeah, okay, cool. Slip.
Slip's gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. Oh, you're no longer afraid, by the way.
That's fine. On Igram.
Okay, so that's a touch. You got to get close enough to touch him.
Let's do it.
So you ride around on your mount, like up behind him, and reach out and touch Igram's arm or something.
Yep, put my little slimy fingers on him.
All right. Golden light flows out of Slip onto your arm. Are you out of first level spell slots now, Slip?
Yep.
You
No, I still have one more.
Okay. Make sure you fix that. The auto spell slot did it wrong. Looks like.
That's fine.
So you've only used
I have one.
3. Yeah, that's right. 5 healings, Igram.
So when doesn't my life cleric stuff come into effect there?
I think it's supposed to. Are you using the one on your spell page or the one on your front page there?
The one on my front page.
Oh yeah, try the one on your spell page real fast. See if this one works. Yeah, the one on your spell page does it. So click the Disciple of Life button there. So 3 extra, so 8 total. Igram.
Okay.
Are you no longer bloodied?
I am no longer bloodied.
All right. Anything else, Slippy? You can still move. You can still move like 15 more feet if you wanted to.
Okay, I'll get kind of over by where.
Spitz is on foot right here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'll kind of get over here, but like. Sorry.
Sweet, so you ride over so Spitz can hop onto your water bug.
Yep.
Oops.
Turn in.
Nix.
Alright, so this is what I'm gonna do. I am gonna whip this beetle around, whip it, baby, and I'm gonna run with him all the way down here.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack with my short sword +1
All right.
to the bloodied one.
Hits.
Oh, whew,
Again,
20.
just like hot butter. It like almost whistles and like kind of gleam silver as it cuts. And describe how you finish it off, Nix.
That gleaming silver straight through this ugly thing's face, right in between the eyes is what I'm aiming straight for, and I'm just gonna almost like leap off as I'm holding on to the reins of my water bug to stab it right in between the eyes with this just glowing magic blade.
It like goes cross-eyed, like its eyes like roll inward in a like lazy, dead-looking way as blood just like pours down its forehead and it collapses.
Hell yeah. And then I'm going to use Cunning Action. And I am now going to dash. I can do, since I moved, I can dash 60 feet.
Yep.
So I'm going to move 60 feet. Which will put me right about here.
Cool.
And in my turn. That was a very satisfying turn. Oh, baby.
Spitz.
All right. So is my beetle still chilling? It's right there, right?
Yeah, it's probably slowly kind of running this direction.
Okay.
It's probably here by now.
Run as all you boy knows.
Run, run, run.
Eat. Jump.
Okay, so I'm probably gonna run straight onto my own beetle. And I'll use my bonus action to dash so I can actually get on top of it.
Okay.
And then I'll turn around and use my action to pop the other one with my
All right.
It does not fucking hit.
You get a stone whirling in your beautiful, perfect leather little sling. You loose the stone and it goes clattering off into the darkness, missing.
It gets caught in the slipstream of the gust.
Yep.
The amount of
miss.
Yeah, it just
the
like
amount of-
hits the gust and whoop, like zips off into the night.
The amount of aggravated disappointment that came out of your voice when you said, "And it did not fucking hit."
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So I'm gonna use my remaining 25 feet of movement from my dash to pilot this water bug away.
This water bug, Eva.
That's awesome. All right, Spitz. Dead. The still remaining Yethhound makes a check against the wind tunnel, the gust of wind from Igram's magic, which is dexterity saving throw? No, strength saving throw.
Strength.
Versus what, a 13?
Yep.
They're good at strength. So it doesn't get pushed 15 feet, but it does have half movement speed within the wind tunnel, but it doesn't matter because it's close enough to attack you.
Yep. Hit it.
For 8 piercing, it bites onto Igram again, howling.
Immediately took the health away that I just gave.
Bloodied yet again.
Igram is going to cast False Life on himself.
Okay.
And then he is going to, that's his action. And then as his movement, he's actually going to move away and take an attack of opportunity.
Okay, so Igram gains 7 temporary hit points as he encircles himself with necromantic magic.
Mhm.
And the beast will bite at you as you run away
That's a hit.
and hit you for 9 piercing, taking 7 of your temp HP and 2 of your actual HP. Igram is badly injured. Igram, you get like a piercing claw or piercing fang puncture through your shoulder.
Does that wind thing stay with? Oh, I need to roll a save
Const-
for concentration for both of them to stay concentration.
Yep. Just continue concentrating on your wind tunnel.
Is it it's a con save, right?
2 con saves. Yep. What was the first damage that you took? They were both less than 10, right? Yeah.
8, yeah.
So it's 10 for both. Or but less than 20, it's 10 actually.
So
Cool.
if I saved on both of them, it stays with me. It
Okay.
actually stayed on me,
Cool.
and that is my turn. Oh, sorry, water beetle.
So it comes with you like up to here.
Yep.
Cool, Slip.
So I'm torn. So with the wind tunnel and his injury, the dog is not within range of Igram.
Of like a melee now.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll have to dash if he wants to get in range, which means he wouldn't be able to attack. And Igram's also immune to his fright. If he tried to do that.
Okay. I am going to cast spiritual weapons.
Okay. What weapon is your spiritual weapon? Is it a mace or a hammer?
It is a scimitar,
Nice.
and it speeds.
Spin.
That is an 8, so
Well, that means the first attack misses, but it's an ongoing thing. So you can summon it within 60 feet, I think?
yeah, I'm gonna put it like on that boy.
So your scimitar spins in the air right here. See it? Here,
Yeah.
I'll make it spin.
Spam.
I'll make it glow blue also.
And then I will move.
Okay. So I think then bonus action next turn you can attack with your scimitar.
Oh yeah.
With your simmy. Alright. Nyx?
There's no chance of getting away, right? Have we decided that?
So, hold on real quick, sorry. Before Slip ends his turn, I think Spiritual Weapon is actually only a bonus action to cast, to summon.
That's correct.
So, you could still cast a cantrip, like if you wanted to try and Sacred Flame him, you could still do that this turn.
Or dash.
Or dash, yeah.
I'll hit him with the old Sacred Flame.
Is Sacred Flame 30 or 60?
Sacred Flame is 60.
So, yeah, you could hit him from here, Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame! DC 11.
Ooh, he makes it.
He saves his foot.
It's alright.
Okay, that's it for me.
No, Nick. Sorry, Nick's good.
There's no hope of getting away, right? Or are we? Or is that still the end game, right? Are we still trying to run away?
I don't know, I think we're just killing him now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do some reckless shit, and I'm going to move 38 feet right in front of this bad boy.
Okay. What's your skirmisher thing do?
Skirmisher? That's to move in and out of combat. So if they end a turn within, I think, 15 feet of me, I can move.
When they approach you.
Oh, if they end within 5 feet of me, I can move.
So if they
up to half of my speed.
Yeah, if they run up to you, you can immediately run away.
Yeah, which is dope. It's such a good skill to have. But, actually, that's if they end their turn, though.
Yeah.
Like, if they don't hit me.
That's a reaction, which means it happens on their turn.
Yeah. So, what I'll do then is I'm going to attack with short sword +1.
Okay. Misses.
Fuck. Okay, well then I am going to rescind my offer of battle with them, and I'm going to move my remaining 20 feet. Oh, do we still have a limited number of dashes?
No, not anymore. We're out of chase mode.
Okay, so I can just dash then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well then I'm a dash, baby, and that'll put me right up where Slip is.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna end my diddly dang turn.
Spits.
Oh, I'm gonna sling.
Sling it, baby.
I sling it real good. L F.
Miss. Bad miss.
Pop yourself in the eye with your own sling.
Anything else? Anything else, Spitz?
Let's see. I'm going to use my bonus action to do nothing. I'm going to, I guess, continue moving just a little further away.
Okay. So I think that's him still probably starting him in that space.
It's
the
60
cone?
feet long, so it would have still covered him, I believe.
Oh, what did he need to save?
A 13.
13.
So he gets
pushes.
pushed 15 feet back.
Yep.
He will then move his... I don't know. I think at this point... let me check here. They're not dummies.
What are the homies in the robes thinking right now?
So at this point, I think echoing back from the clearing where you came from, you hear a sharp whistle. It reminds you of like what a beetle keeper would use or something like that, like a. And the Yeth like turns and looks back through the darkness towards the clearing where he came from. He looks back at all of you, and then he turns and just starts kind of like galloping away in a nonchalant manner.
Alright, we out. Deal. And just like that, we gone.
And you guys run into the forest?
Uh-huh.
Alright, so you continue running on. So, you travel for another like 20-30 minutes, just exhausted, winded, aimless. And then suddenly you burst forth from the tree line and onto the small, like 5-foot sandy ridge that overlooks the calm, wide waters of the river.
Tight.
And your beetles easily just glide out onto the river Briar Creek, and you start slowly through the darkness, silently just whoosh, 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 up towards the bridge for about another hour. So you arrive underneath this large, beautiful, tall wooden bridge that crosses like the 10-foot embankments on either side of the river, with like a well-worn path and even a little watchman's like hut on the bridge that's never occupied but could be. You like sit in the darkened shadows beneath the bridge, like just sitting atop the water on your water beetles, discussing your plan, knowing the rats will probably be arriving soon down the path. What's your plan for destroying the bridge?
We should use those 2 fireball scrolls.
Is the
Agreed.
bridge wood or is the bridge?
It is wooden, although it's very
I
finely
think-
crafted.
Well, it would be a shame to let this fine craftsmanship go to waste, but I think it would also be a shame to let the rats over this bridge.
I say we wait until the rats are crossing the bridge. And then from underneath, we use the scrolls and then escape on the river downstream.
Underneath,
Did
you'll
any-
probably be too close to the explosions. Also, it
Did
would
any-
cave in on you.
Did anybody happen to bring any alcoholic beverages with?
I have brandy.
Brought a ton. We could also set that on the bridge, and it would help the fireball destroy the bridge.
I don't have much, but it is something that I have.
Yeah, it's probably not enough to make a difference on this large bridge.
Well, and like, isn't fireball like a crazy spell? Doesn't it do like 8d6s or something?
It's like a half a stick of dynamite going off.
Yeah.
If that is what we want to do, I have no guarantee that they will work.
So you're gonna like wait
Something brand new to me.
in the reeds and lily pads just downstream, and when they start crossing, set off the fireballs, then slip down the river.
How does that
Mhm.
sound to everyone?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So, a few things. I would like to see a group stealth check. Everyone roll a stealth quickly, please. And Igram, you need to roll to cast scrolls of a higher level than you have.
That is the DC of
I think it's 10 plus
Think
the
it's-
spell level.
the level, which is 3, so 13.
The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level, and you can make, I think you can make an Arcana check. Use your spellcasting ability to determine whether you cast it. I'll say if you want, you can use Arcana.
It doesn't matter, it's the same thing.
Okay. You're not proficient in Arcana, really?
I figured with the background of Igram, Arcana would not be proficient. I'm learning.
I see. I like that. You will be proficient one day.
Someday.
Nope.
F. You've got 2 though.
Yep. Roll one more. There you go. So, we end tonight with a cutscene. You all slip down river, 100 feet or so, and hide amongst the reeds and lily pads. A few frog folk appear from like a small muddy burrow, and like one of them croaks to you like, "Is everything okay? You can hide in our home if you need."
Should we hide in this guy's house? I think we want to stay out here where we can get a good look at what's going on.
He just like looks around in the darkness and he's like, "Be safe out here. May Elder Tree be with you. Father Forest watch over you." And he like slips back into his hole. But you guys, other than that, are fully hidden. And after about, not that long, like half an hour, a large marching regiment of rats comes in the distance down the path in the dark forest. You at first just see the torches and hear their feet kind of stamping, because it's hundreds, maybe 200 rats come stamping down the path. But what's more disturbing is right at the front of the rats, they lead a massive pink-skinned creature pulling a massive tied together rotten looking siege device with a huge spiked log hanging from a chain and torches kind of hanging from it burning and rats riding on it and yelling. A few stoats and weasels and badgers are mixed in as well. And the creature pulling this siege device appears almost like a cat. You can roll an Arcana to see actually if you've ever heard of it.
Is it a hairless cat?
It looks like a hairless cat, yes, except for it has larger fangs and massive demon-like skinned wings coming off of its back. Though they're kind of stunted, not really big enough to fly. The creature also has like some weird like metal spike kind of alterations. Like they've given it dermal implants of like metal and kind of, jagged spikes coming out of its skin and shoulders in different places, almost like implanted armor. So Igrim, you've heard of an Agbast before, or an Agbast.
Okay.
It is a hairless cat demon, and rats love them. Some rats worship them.
Hypoallergenic.
Indeed. And this one just looks hideous and angry as they like whip it and ride on it and lead it towards the bridge near the front of the battalion.
Blow that bitch up as soon as it gets on the bridge.
So when you see this creature, do you like whisper to each other? Is that what you say? Like you tell them to wait for the creature to get on the bridge?
Yeah, the creature in the siege machine. Igrum, don't use the scrolls until the siege machine gets on the bridge with the creature.
What the fuck is that thing?
Dead if we do this right.
It's an
Let's
Agbast.
hope so.
I don't think it will be dead if we do it right. However, I think we should wait till it gets started on the bridge. Because if it doesn't start on fire right away, they maybe get it across most of the way. We don't want to. I don't think they can push it back very fast.
Can we be a bit quieter about this?
I've never seen one. I've only read about this. This is awesome.
So as you watch the creature creeps out onto the bridge, as all the rats hoot and holler and, hoist their torches and pull the creature along. No wonder they're not scared of the long night, because they have creatures just as fearsome as those out in the darkness. They pull it onto the bridge, and Igrim, you kind of take a gulp as your time has come, and you hold your fingers out and look down at the scroll, scrolled out, maybe, I don't know, like Nick's holding it scrolled out for you in front of you so you can read it. And as you read the magical text, your fingers wiggle and fire starts to well up, and then just a puff of smoke from your fingers, a little black puff of smoke, and the words fade from the page like a magical swirl.
That's pretty cool. I never knew that it did that. Let's try another one.
So Nyx, you pull the second scroll out of the scroll case. And then scroll it, holding it out tight, like karate board style. Like you're holding
Read quickly, my friend.
And this time Nyx recites the words, wiggles his fingers, and gives a flick of his wand at the last moment, and fire from his fingers charges into his wand and shoots at the bridge in a huge fireball, like meteor. And you hear screaming as it just erupts and splinter and flame and blood as like multiple, dozens of rats are immolated. The Ogbast is thrown to the north in rubble and rock to like the western, like northwestern bank of the river. And the machine like kind of like half breaks or like kind of falls forward and like rolls down the broken bridge and like hits the water below, like half submerged in the river. As rats like start screaming and hollering and immediately start spreading to the south and north into the forest with torches and like search parties looking for the source of the fireball. Some of them are yelling like, it came from down here, like running in huge, parties down to the south. And immediately you just like slip away in the darkness. Your stealth checks were good enough to slip away in the darkness on your water beetles down the river.
Yo, I just thought of the strat. You get underneath your water beetle and you grab it by the tummy with a reed to stick out, and it just looks like a fucking bug, dude.
You just hug it like a baby monkey.
Like a baby monkey.
I'm a frog. I'm pretty sure I could just like...
Yeah, you can.
All right. And that's where we will end our session. We fade to black as you slip into the darkness down the river on your water beetles with just fire and blood and chaos behind you.
Slip as we're like running away and there's all this madness going on. He dips two of his fingers into the mud of the bank as he's riding his water beetle, and he slowly puts two lines underneath each of his eyes.
Nice. Slip goes commando.
Yeah.
Spitz does that, but with saliva.
Ew. All right, so let's do our council meeting. Great session, everyone. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
We'll begin next session as you kind of arrive on the river just outside of Blue Cliff. All right. Let's see. The council. The meeting at the end of the session that we do is called the council, where we talk about how you've played. There are 3 ways to earn merit, which is how you level up in the Leaf Guard. Acting on your belief. If your character's actions in the game reflect their belief, you earn a merit point. Did anyone act on their belief?
Spitz didn't really do anything coalition related.
It wasn't a really heavy roleplay session.
I think there could be a case made for Igram.
Yeah, I think Igram proved magic's worth.
No, it's the thing about empathy. Because you went back to Sage Spitz.
And you said thank you to Daisy.
I like
can
that.
see an argument made both ways, but I'll take it.
All right, so I'll give you a merit point. Did you work towards your goal? Even if you accomplished it, even if you work toward it or accomplish it, give yourself 1. How many tokens does everyone have now for merit?
19.
Nice. Cool. Well, anyone else have more than 15?
23.
Yeah, I have 21.
I'm gonna say 21. I'm gonna say at 20 probably you hit like a higher rank in the Leaf Guard. But I'll cook up some kind of Leaf Guard team bonus that you all get next time. You'll get some cool team boost for now being Leaf Guard members. That's what your merit points get you, and the bonuses get better the higher you get. But I'll cook that up for next session. So moving on to Gnosis growth tokens. Accomplishing a goal. Did anyone accomplish their goal?
Yeah, I did. I got them all there safely, and we safely set our ambush.
Made sure your team arrived safely at the bridge and successfully set your ambush up.
Check.
I will not hold back magic against the rats. I fired a fireball at them. Is that? I guess I don't know.
Check.
I think so. I think that counts. You shot up. You
Yeah.
exploded a bunch of rats on a bridge with a fireball.
I don't know if I should say that Spitz worked towards his goal. I'm sure. Well, he tried to run it first instead of fighting, so I guess that's expediting.
Whose idea was it to run?
I think it was all of ours collectively to get the fuck out and run.
Okay. I would say, because I specifically remember Spitz raging and turning back. That's like what I remember from the chase
I
scene.
raged and turned back after they put me off my horse.
Are you sure? I thought you raged and went back and attacked from your horse. Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure when you lost the contested check to get grappled off your horse, you were already raging. And you had advantage, but you still lost.
Oh yeah, it was because I was gonna start dashing, using my bonus action.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for your totem. I see. I'll give it to you, sure.
Wahoo.
Unfortunately,
That's
Nyx, you guys elected to go in the forest rather than the road.
Yeah.
So you fought Yeth instead of rats, so you didn't get to do your goal this time.
Even though I stabbed one in between his fucking eyes.
Yeah, but it wasn't a rat.
I'll be level 2 forever.
Are you still level 2? How many tokens do you need to get 3?
I'm sorry, I'm level 3.
Okay.
I lied.
I thought so.
I only have 2 Gnosis tokens, so.
So, did anyone... everyone that accomplished their goal gets a token, Gnosis token. Did anyone play against their belief?
Nope.
Probably didn't come in much
No.
this session. Who was the most valuable player? Everyone give a vote.
Yeah, I think Igram.
Igram's fireballs.
Yeah.
And the grease spell, and the wind tunnel spell.
Yeah, for sure.
I vote Igram.
That's why I like chases. It gives a lot of different spells kind of a way to shine. Alright, yeah, Igram, take another Gnosis token. It's good that you guys are giving it to your wizard a lot, because he needs to level faster than everyone anyway. He's a good wizard. So 4 is in the embodiment award. I'm gonna give everyone an embodiment token today for playing their.
Wahoo.
Everyone role played their character well. I love it. You guys don't really gloss over like dialogue and things like that. You actually do the dialogue, and I love it. Even in battle sessions, it was still a really interesting session, I thought, even though it was mostly battle.
I now have the required 6 tokens I need to level.
Yeah. And so
I
everyone.
want to do that next time, though.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll level up next time before we start. And everyone watching at home, thanks for tuning in. This has been, it says session 8 on the Twitch thing, but it's actually session 7. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, all that other good stuff. I want to say that we have probably only 2 more sessions of this like arc left. We're going to do like the kind of infiltration of Blue Cliff, and then, you know, the kind of finale of you trying to save the mice and finish the thing with the rats. And then we're gonna end this as like a finished season of Thornwood, and we're gonna take a break from Thornwood, and we will do a different RPG campaign with a different system, but all the same people. Finn might not be with us because Finn has a new awesome job, so congratulations to you, but we will miss you dearly. But also, again, things might change, and we'll come back with another season of Thornwood later, and I'll reunite. But we have 2 more sessions of this left to go of this season, and it will be done. And then we'll come up with a new show idea and stream and podcast and YouTube that one. I am leaning heavily towards a few different systems, some sci-fi systems or an apocalypse kind of thing. I really want to do an apocalypse game. I think this would be a really good group to do it with. So we'll see. There's a couple different systems. But anyway, thanks everyone for being here and tuning in. Thank you, my lovely players, for being here. And we'll see everyone next time here on Thornwood D&D. Goodbye.
And just like that, we gone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.